Clobbering time! Clobberonimo!
Clobberonimo indeedishness. Welcome, my friends. Greetings. Clobberers, clobberonimos, clobberettes, clobberooskies, clobberoids, and clobberocutises, and whatever other kind of clobs we got out there. Greetings to you all.
Clobberonimo!
I love it. Oh man, what a night we're gonna have tonight, folks. Because we had a fantastic one last week, and you were all just magnificent, if I might say so. And you were all so great last week, and I'm looking forward to this one. We have so much fun. Yes, clobberosity, clobberosity, but I can't even pronounce that one. Well, we'll just clobber it all the clobberotics. There you go. There's one. Clobber yourselves. Good to see you, my friends.
Clobnosticators.
Here we are with yes, indeed. I like that one too. Clobbering Times issue number 534 on YouTube for the past 2.5 years. 1,234 overall for the past nearly 14 years now. And of course, it is Saturday Night Star Trek number 109. Coincidentally, because we're reviewing Deep Space Nine. So hey, numbers. Never been very good with numbers, unfortunately. So it's good to see you all here, my friends. Thank you so much for joining us on another wonderful Saturday night. Looking forward to it. A Saturday night. What is today's date anyway? I don't even know the date.
Saturday, March 11th.
Saturday night's all right for a trek. So without further whatever, I will introduce the most wonderful first officer in the fleet. Everyone, the author of Science Fiction Tales, the magnificent Commander R.M. Briggs. Hey there, my number
Hi,
one.
boss. I love you. I'm so excited about tonight. Just want to say hail to the chat, hail to our marvelous wrenches, and I want to thank.
Yes,
I want to take this opportunity to publicly thank my Patreon subs.
please do.
Cardinal Sin, Shooter, Larry, Tony Stark, Chris Persia, Scuba Pete, Eric K, and Kirby, Enigmatic Drop Bear, Michael and Cassandra Beacom, Mark D with a C,
Oh,
Jill, and Maximum Limerick.
Absolutely. Thank you all.
I also need to thank you. I love you. Thank you for creating this space for us so that we can all hang out and talk about Star Trek. Let's do it.
Indeed, isness. Indeed. I'm so happy to see my friends popping in here, rolling in as they are. And we're going to say some shout outs to them as soon as we do a few show notes, which are let's see here. Where are my show notes? Oh no, where are they? Oh no. They're nowhere. They're in front of me. That's why. All right. Where are you? Oh, I just want to make sure I have everything in order before I do it. So, okay. Obviously, one show note is the great Mark D with a C, our chief engineer. We'll be back. We'll be having the geekery tomorrow night. Never forget about that, folks. And I'll be with him. I'll join him, of course.
Geeks.
Geekness, geekery. At Sunday night, 7:10 p.m. Central. Eastern.
Geeky Town. Won't you take me to Geeky Town?
Yes, what she said and sang. All right. So anyway, there's that. Oh, sorry about that, folks. I'm all jumbled up. I'm trying to multitask here. A double feature Monday night, of course, on Monday night, Moxie Comics Talk. A big double feature, an early show with my great buddy J-Man, and I will take another trip to Earth B for another Clobby's Classic Comics review of a Bob Haney, Zany Haney presentation. Brave and the Bold number 120. Batman and Commandy. Yes, Clobby and J-Man team up to bring you another hilarious, crazy out there comic adventure with the looniest writer on all of comics history. So there is that. Then, of course, later I'll have a show at the Standard Time, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time as well. Some open comics talk there. And I guess Tuesdays and Thursdays, as always, I'm on with the great Tom Connors on the extraordinary Midnight Heads After Dark. Again, that's 6 p.m. Central. And then Wednesday night and Thursday night, it's back here. Wednesday night, Wild Card. And then Thursday night, the Clubhouse with Raquel and Mark. And then Friday nights with Nick and the gang, the Comic Shop gang, as always, 8:30 Central over there at my good buddy Nick Weiser's channel. And then, of course, back here for where we are right now, where we always are, Saturday night Star Trek. And now, how about we do some shouty outies?
Let's do it.
Let's shout out some dear friends, starting with our wrenches. They do so much. They're here all the time, and I'm not worthy of them. They're good buddies, so we'll just give them a little bit of a shout out, and then we'll shout out everybody who's here. First, of course, the bronze wrencher of bronze himself,
Hey.
Eric K.
Love you, Eric. And Kirby.
And the doggy Kirby, and he's having a ribeye that Eric. I hope he's sharing it with Kirby.
He's always eating something delicious. He's a pretty good cook. Everyone, would you please put a little bit of cheese in the chat for Curbs, for little Kirby's?
Yeah. Yes, please do that. Where? Sorry, I lost my place. Let's see. The Vindicator Wrench of the North, Chris Persia. Hey, but I don't know if he's here right now, but he'll pop in when he can. We're not sure where he is, but hopefully
we love you.
I hope he's okay. I hope he will drop by at least. The great D. Bud Martin, the Wrench of Iron. Hey, buddy.
Bud.
The Chief of Security himself. Lord Thoth, the God of Wrenching. And shout out to the lovely Lady Thoth. Avon lives. Long live the Legion, buddy. And shout out to your new
Sir
puppy.
Lancepup.
Yeah. And, of course, my partner in crime on Earth B. Their wrench without fear, J-Man. Can't wait to hang out with you, buddy.
J-Man.
Nope.
Don't forget
Nope.
to put cheese in the chat for little Sir Lancepup.
Hungry boy. I don't think he's here right now, but
HB.
shout out to HB, the master of the cluboni and artist extreme and extraordinaire. Kal-El Super Wrench, buddy.
Real soup.
Maddie's daddy, the wheel of Wrench Mjolnir, whom I understand is not feeling well. Dude, I hope you feel better. If you're hearing this, man, please get well soon. All counting on you. And
Yes.
of course,
we love you, Thor in Vegas.
yeah, buddy.
Go lie down.
Absolutely, man. Feel better. Fanty outside eye. Also. And let me see. Let me see who else has popped in. Try to get everybody, I like to get everybody's names down so I can shout them out proper. And so far we have a few friends here. Okie dokie. Let's see. I don't know exactly how you just pronounce it other than say the letters. FKHC 2005. Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
Welcome.
Shooter's here.
Pew, 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 pew.
The Mark, our good buddy Mark D with a C will be here a little bit later.
Mark D with a C.
We all know he'll make it when he can. Dave G Sound.
Dave G Sound.
Indeedishness. Simply Steve. Hey, buddy.
Hey, nice to see you.
Indeed. Mr. Tickle Trunk. Hey, buddy.
Hey, you were here? He must have us just on listening. Are you going to be back?
Yes.
I think he popped in, smashed the like button, and he's going to catch us on the rewatch or the re-listen. We love you.
Absolutely. Excuse me. Pleasant Valley Picker. Hey.
Evening, PvP.
Hey. Let's see who we got here. Kal-El, but I already yelled him out. I already shouted you out. Sorry, but good to see you again, Kal-El, buddy. Lisa.
Oh, I saw your country cottage pie today, and the Irish in me was just like, I want more.
Indeedishness. Let's see. Did I see? Oh, I saw somebody else pop in. Okay. Hey, on a second. All right. The great enigmatic drop here. So great to have you back, buddy.
Yay!
Really appreciate you.
Hello, sweet person.
You're the great one, man. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for those kind words you wrote earlier in the comments. Linrod. Hey there, Linrod. Always good to see you. Raymond Feliciano and Sandra Feliciano. The Felicianos are here. What's up?
King Dolphin TV.
In color. SP4H. Hey.
SP4H.
Anano Moss. What is up? Scogly Jotun. Hello.
Scogly.
Michael Beacom. Good to see you, buddy.
And Cassandra Beacom.
To Cassandra, of course.
Evening, Beacoms.
We absolutely is. Let's see here. Dalek 451. Hello there, Dalek. Always great to have you stop in, sir. The Catman, aka DD Myers. Hey there. Hope you and your wife are doing well, my friend.
Catman too.
John Rupas, Shaggy.
Reggie?
John Rupas. Yes, indeed. Wolfie's here, and he's got. I think he's got some more cool stuff for us tonight, by the way.
Ooh.
Let's see. Oh my goodness, the lovely Janet from another planet. Hello, dear.
Interplanet Janet, she's a galaxy girl.
All right, I love that. I love it. I love it when Janet shows up because we get the pleasure of her company and we get to hear you sing that. So it's just a win-win.
It's an oldie but a goodie. We grew up with it, didn't we? If you grew up in the 70s, you grew up with Interplanet Janet.
Yep, I love it. Damn it, Janet, I love you. Dave Bob, old chum.
I said, Dave Bob's here.
I say, Dave Bob. I say, Dave Bob, buddy. It looks like it's dwindling down to just about you and me, and not too many of us left fighting the good fight against the filth. It's gonna, man.
I'm not fighting. I'm just ignoring.
know.
I want nothing to do with
You're
it.
better
What are you
off.
talking about? That doesn't exist.
Nope, you're better off. I got you. We're hard headed. What can I tell you? DJ Ronnie G.
DJ Ronnie G. Waka, waka, waka.
MMM is here. Masters. Maniac Mexico. Hey, MMM.
Sending you a soft hug.
Captain James T. Skywalker.
Skywalker.
Boosh McFadden's here. Hey.
Whoosh!
Let me see if I missed anyone. And there may be everyone so far. Because this thing does fly by really quickly. But I hope I did not miss anyone. But sometimes this thing can fly on you here. So, and anyone else, of course, who pops in, we'll address accordingly. In the meantime, let us start to get down to beeswax.
Bees
Basically,
and wax.
Indeed, this. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. John Rupus are you happy or not happy? That's face there. What's up, man? Reggie? So, Saturday Night Star Trek. Oh, I did forget something. All of our friends are out there lurking. Thank you so much. And lurkers, it's just I'm old and have a garbagey memory, so I forget sometimes to thank you for lurking. I really appreciate you. And of course, also listening later on a download or a repeat or whatever you want to call it. I thank you as well. I really appreciate you being here. We really cannot thank you enough. Our dear friends who can't make it live sometimes, thank you so much. It's just we're honored to have you with us. We really are. Mm-hmm. And shout out to Tyrell72 if you're out there hearing this, buddy, later, or if you're not able to respond, just in case, because you never know.
Be safe at work. We're thinking of you.
You never know. So, let's see. About a little over 2 years and a couple of months ago, the beginning of 2021, we started out on a perilous mission to seek out. No, not even to seek out, just to review all 735 pieces of real Star Trek from 1966 to 2005. The only Trek that counts, the only thing that is legit Trek. Everything after that is filth. And
that's right.
We're going to review it all. We started out by reviewing, of course, the original series, the animated series, the original crew films, Star Trek The Next Generation, and now we are nearing the end, getting close to the end of Season 5 of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. 4 episodes a week, usually, unless we get to the end of the beginning.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So 735ers, you know that you are named as such in this 735 club of clobberanimos and clobberuskis because there are 735 iterations of real Star Trek. Listen to this, folks. TOS 79 plus 6, TAS 22, TNG 178 plus 4, DS9 176. We only have 2 seasons to go as far as DS9 goes, and then we're on to Voyager, and then we're on to Ent. Can you believe? Look at that road. Just,
been a long road.
Look back at that long road. It's been a long road getting from there to here. It's been a long time, but our time is finally near.
Yepper. And it's finally near. I love it. You're not going to complain out of me. Hey, Carney Sin.
Hey, Carney. I was just talking about you, honey.
Cardi, good to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. And I believe later tonight he's got something going on. I don't know what exactly. I forgot. He's got some kind of show he's doing. Tell everybody about that, or Carter, you can put a link for it later, whatever.
He also made money, like Cardinal Sin money.
He what now?
He made coins with his
face
on them.
Oh,
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. Cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you guys go to Cardinal Sin's channel, Gil Babel, and check out his coins. So cool.
Yeah, there you go. So everybody, tonight, of course, 4 more episodes. What we do here is, we actually do have a reference point for the episodes, but Raquel just basically reads a synopsis of an episode. We discuss it a little bit, what we think about it and what have you. And then we rate it. We rate it where we give it a score, A down to F score, depending like a report card, and then we turn it over to our extraordinary, amazing chat, and we will read any ratings and words they may have about the episode. So that's what we do here now. I will turn it over the helm to my wonderful first officer. Take it away, number one.
Thanks, boss. The boss put up an image of a book. It's the book cover for Star Trek Deep Space Nine Companion, written by Terry J. Erdman and Paula M. Block. Paula M. Block is a prolific and outstanding Star Trek author. Please do not go to IMDb or Wikipedia or Memory Alpha or any of these other places for your information. Not only has it been polluted by the filth, but almost all of the information is inaccurate. Every time I go there, I'm like, what? Why is this here? This is not true. So if you're actually looking for information that you can trust, it's good to choose a text, a vetted text that has original source material. And that's what Paula M. Block endeavors to do. So all of her books are like that. And this is no exception. So if you're looking for information on DS9, you want to know about the stuff that happened behind the scenes, production notes, is this a rumor or is this true, blah, 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 blah. That's the place to get it. Pick up Star Trek Deep Space Nine Companion by Terry J. Erdman and Paula M. Block. Unfortunately, Terry J. Erdman is the primary author of this text, and his wife is just riding second chair. So his synopses, they're ridiculous. They're like 15 pages long. So unfortunately, we're going to have to read the summaries provided on Wikipedia so we can stay copyright compliant. And sometimes they're not accurate, but we don't get any information from there. Okay, folks, we just want to rattle off that summary so everybody's on the same page, so to speak, so that we can discuss the episodes. And something else that should be mentioned, this is an entirely organic show. So we don't discuss the episodes beforehand. We don't get into it. We don't pre-read anything. And it's because we want to experience this with you. When Clobby and I set out on this journey, we wanted it to be a completely organic experience that would feel like we all met at a con and we all grabbed a burger or a hot chocolate or a beer and sat in the, the eating area, the cafeteria area, and just, to shoot the bull and to talk about Star Trek. So that's what this is all about. And I hope you will saddle up, lock and load. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah. Yep. So I guess we're ready for our first episode of the evening.
Let's do it, boss.
Okay. Tonight's first episode, folks, is a simple investigation.
A Simple Investigation is season 5, episode 15. If the numbers are off for you, it's because international streaming services, they have different numbers for DS9 due to the multi-part episodes that DS9 is known for. Please know that it is production code 515. We all watched this for the very first time on March 31st, 1997. This episode is called A Simple Investigation, but it actually should just be called Odo Loses His Virginity. So now I'm going to read from Wikipedia, which often sucks, and I'm going to do so extemporaneously, which means I haven't read it before. This is a cold read. And when you're reading something out loud that you haven't read before, and it's also very poorly written, the suckage is hard. So bear with me, folks. Let's do this. In Quarks, Odo meets a beautiful woman named Orissa and is impressed by her powers of observation. Later, he is surprised when the same woman is arrested for trying to break into the station's computer. That's actually not true. He's not surprised. I wouldn't say he's surprised at all. Odo questions her about the man she was waiting for in Quarks. This is why he wasn't surprised. He thought that her behavior was suspicious from the beginning. An Idanian named Tavid Rem. Orissa tells Odo Tavid has information about the daughter she gave up 15 years before. Odo takes her to Tavid's quarters, where they discover he has been killed. Soon afterward, Odo catches Arissa retrieving a data crystal Tavid hid. She admits to Odo that she doesn't really have a daughter and tells him that she came to meet Tavid because she wants to escape working for the Orion Syndicate, a notorious criminal organization. Her boss, a man named Drain, well, he's not a man, right? He's an Orion,
No,
named
Ryan.
Drain, probably had Tavid killed to keep her from getting the unknown information contained in the crystal. Not probably. He sends two assassins to kill Tavid.
Yeah.
So it's that this is complete BS.
Right.
Anyway, we'll keep going. Odo hides Arissa in his quarters and he begins an investigation, while Dax and O'Brien attempt to address the heavily protected data crystal. Arissa tells Odo how she began to work for Drain, only to want out when she learned the deadly consequences of her assignments meant for others. Okay. Odo encourages her to testify against Drain and take back her life. That night, he returns to his quarters where the two of them give into their growing attraction to each other. After spending a passionate night with Odo, Arissa sends a message to Drain proposing an exchange, the crystal for her life. Drain agrees, but instructs his hitman, Trady and Sorm, to kill her after the data crystal is received. Meanwhile, an Idanian official arrives, informing Odo that Arissa is not who she appears to be, but actually an Idanian agent given a new identity in order to infiltrate Drain's organization. Even Arissa doesn't know this, since her memory has been erased. The crystal contains all of her real memories. The Idanian asks to be taken to Arissa, and Odo quickly complies, only to find both the woman and the crystal are missing. Arissa prepares to give Trady the crystal in exchange for her life, but just as he and Sorm are to kill her, Odo and the Idanian save Arissa. Later, her memories and true appearance are restored. She and Odo then meet one last time, painful time. Oh, she and Odo meet one last painful time, after which Arissa returns to her married life, and Odo is left broken-hearted. And that is all Wikipedia has to say about Odo loses his virginity. So now I'll put it to my captain. My captain, mon capitaine. Please tell me, what did you think about Odo loses his virginity? Oh, Claude Selling. Hey, man.
Claude,
how's it going?
Claude Selling, good to see you. But I'm sorry, ask me the question again. What did you ask?
What did you think of Odo loses his virginity?
What are you waking me up for? I told you not to wake me up until we get to the next. Oh, sorry.
Was it supposed to wake you up until we got to the next system? We were supposed to visit that planet. I think you were going to take some time out at Risa. Sorry, boss.
Like ships through the wormhole. These are the spins of our station. It's tough for me to not care much about an Odo episode. I really like Odo. Of course, he's always terrific. Renee Auberjonois is always terrific. Love the lady now. I'm a big fan of that lady. She's a quite the looker and fine actress. I didn't find, again, these intrigue stories like this. I mean, it's not that it's particularly terrible or anything, at least for me. Until you get to the look, I'm not a prude, everybody. I don't care about bedroom scenes that much. This one was a little, because it's Odo, maybe. I don't know. It's a little creepy for me. I know it sounds weird.
A little creepy? It's
Okay,
a lot creepy.
Yeah, it's just that whole scene. I'm like, I don't.
That is not adult lovemaking. What's going on there is very creepy. The cringe factor it's super cringe.
Yeah,
it's cringe-tastic. It's the cringiest.
Couldn't you just let us, you didn't have to have that scene. You could have just let us think, okay, or let us know that it happened.
Yes.
And just get away from it. Like we know, we're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Have Odo put his boots on.
There you go. I didn't find that particularly, I don't know. Aside from that, like I said, all the Total Recall stuff and all that kind of it's just I don't, not really. Again, as I say, I'm a broken record. I'm sorry, folks. Very often with this show, it's not what I sign up for Star Trek for.
No.
This is another one.
Larry's here. Hi, sweetheart.
Hey. Larry.
I got your note, honey. I'm so glad that you got your book.
Good to see you, my friend. So yeah, I didn't find it particularly. I mean, it doesn't make me angry or anything. I thought it was just kind of a snoozer, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not my bag necessarily, But I'll let you go with the notes because I don't have a
Okay,
lot to say
folks, if
about
you're
this
new around
episode.
here, I take notes because, well, I've been watching Star Trek for, 40, 45 years or more. And yeah, I take notes while I'm watching to sort of enhance the conversation here. There's not much to enhance here. Rob Altus, good evening. I wrote
Rob,
in my notes, I wrote hooker assassin, mind sex on the net. These are two very cool ideas. One is a trope, and one is a cool idea where we have to deal with this this idea of doing things on the internet for money. And we don't get into that, though. We don't touch that. That's the interesting thing that we don't talk about, which is, science fiction. Instead, Julian reveals everyone wants Odo to fall in love, and he has bedroom eyes. Meanwhile, the lady is a criminal working for the Orion Syndicate. Why would astronauts in the military want their cop friend to fall in love with a hooker assassin from an intergalactic mob of gangsters who had an organized crime syndicate? Then I wrote, Odo loses his virginity. Wow. She tells Odo that she doesn't want to spend the rest of her life looking over her shoulder. This is a ridiculous line because in working for the Orion Syndicate, she's already looking over her shoulder. I love that Worf is annoyed by gossip. This is actually like what Worf does in this room, in this situation, is exactly my personality. When people gossip, I'm like, can you just stop? Like, I can't help it. And I know it makes people feel awkward, but I don't like it. I don't like talking about other people, talk about ideas, talk about things. You don't have to talk about people. So I like that he busts her on that. Jadzia is acting like an ASS. I don't like the way that Jadzia Dax acts in this episode. She's a slimy. She's into everybody's business, and I don't like it. Total Recall storyline from 1990, 7 years later, all this memory and identity chip stuff. Arissa is actually a secret agent who is married. Yawn. It was better when Arnold Schwarzenegger did it. Odo says he fell in love. Arissa says that she did too. And Odo fell in love and Arissa fell in love after 24 to 48 hours. And Odo lost his virginity first as a humanoid and then as, the yellow puddle. So, yeah. What is there left to say? Like, do adults watch this and go, oh, this is great. This is weird. It's cringy.
Yeah.
And there's no sexual chemistry between these two people. The woman's obviously hot, but there's no sexual chemistry between these two. And so it's just icky. It's just very, very icky. It's the 40-year-old virgin. It's not enjoyable at all. And Odo, according to the DS9 Bible, so the actual show Bible for the characters, he's supposed to be a middle-aged man. So here he is. So middle-aged, let's say changelings live until they're what, 100, 200? I don't know. I've never looked into it. So he's at least 50 and he's a virgin. Come on.
Obviously, haven't met a lot of geeks, but
well, no, I have, I'm just saying, like, the way that he carries on, and yeah. Anyways,
I'm just being. Just kind of. Well, no, I do know a lot. No, never mind. I know a lot of people. Never mind. Never mind. But Odo's not a geek, so. All right. Well,
I know, but when that unfortunate circumstance takes place, we don't have to watch it because there's a very like strange feeling when you're watching something like this happen, and Odo takes on almost childlike behavior, and just the way that they're caressing one another and stuff. It's so much ick. You just want to get up, go to the shower and shower off with a loofah sponge so you can take away all of the cringe that's on your skin. It's gross and it's not enjoyable to watch.
Oh my God. Hey, Max Redstone, I got you, buddy.
Maximum limericks.
The Max Man is here. All right, so all right, well, let me see. What is your rating of the simple and masturbation? Sorry, good.
I think it's all crap. It's crap, and like basically like you need a clawbony on this one.
Okay.
I think it's creepy that Julian gives away all this gossip and everyone's gossiping about Odo's personal life. It would be obvious that they would know that he was a virgin. I don't like the way that Jadzia Dax acts here as though she's into everyone's intimate business, who's sleeping in whose quarters and stuff like that. I think it's kind of gross. Well, it's not kind of gross. It's actually really gross. I just think it's weird. We see Odo as a very powerful creature that has incredible analytical, an incredibly analytical mind. He's powerful. He deals with criminals all day. A lot of that would have to do with prostitution, slavery, things like that, especially dealing with the Orion Syndicate. No one in their right mind would see him as this sort of prepubescent, vulnerable entity with this woman. Like I'm not singing Rod Stewart. It's a D. It's a D. It's a D.
I too have it at a D. And now I will ask our good friends at the chat to give us any rating you may have for a simple investigation, and maybe any words you might have as well. Well, I fetch us some extraordinary Max Redstone entertainment. All right, so be right back, and while number one is getting those ready,
I will.
Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Are we ready? We're ready. Here we go. The great Max Redstone, ladies and gentlemen. A simple investigation. Now the constable can turn into mush. There's a lady whose secrets are hush. He courts a lady, she's a gem, but in the ensuing mayhem, Odo will have to let go of his first crush. Well done, Max Redstone. Thank you, buddy. Excellent, hey. Let's see here. They are pouring in there with the damn reviews. So let us get a start on. Let's get these suckers out of here. Hey, Zathras is here. I didn't see you pop in, Zath.
That means it got to come off of mute, even though I'm clickety clicking to go crap.
Good to see you, Zath. So we'll let him go first since it's good to see him. Zathras said D-. I learned on another show to hide the data crystal in a dead cat and then fed the cat to the Pakmura. The crystal will never be seen again, and Babylon 5 is better than DS9. I said it. Yeah. He didn't say that, but I knew he meant to say it. I knew you meant to say that, Zathras. So there you go. For those who are new here, Zathras always says that, and we're proud of him. Simply Steve says D-. No simple investigation here. I agree that the plot was too similar to Total Recall. Odo was being distracted by her powers of observation, and she took full advantage of its shapeshifter. Ooh, the first one to make that joke. I knew it would be you, buddy. All right. Shooter. C. Gooey romance, and I do mean gooey. Oh, well, the joke.
Oh God, I love you, Shoot.
This is going to be a rough one. I can see that now.
Oh, Shooter.
So Odo, who has always been unsociable, even when he was a solid, so suddenly decides this is the girl for him and proceeds to be close with her. Yep. Let's see here. While I like seeing Odo become more sociable, this seems to go way too far, way too quickly, like a lot of TV back then, especially. Still a fairly enjoyable Odo detective story. So linking is sexual. Linking is sexual. The great link is the great orgy.
Yeah.
Yes,
weird,
I guess it is.
And I love you. I love you too. Like it's 48 hours. What? What?
Yeah,
Come
we've talked
on.
about that kind of stuff quite a bit. It really gets the premise of a deep cover operative with their memories altered is interesting and a nice surprise for the finale. Miles seemed way too keen about that holo girl from a happily married man. Well, he is married to Keiko, so I'm just saying. And look at her. I mean, Miles is only human. The biggest
Oh, Miles.
Well, that explains even more right there. The biggest gaping issues I see is why couldn't the security forces just pick Arissa up off the street, and why send a married person on a 2-year deep cover mission? That was a little, yeah, I know. Look,
Right.
yep,
And
good
working
point.
for the Orion Syndicate, imagine how much knocking boots she had to do for the Orion Syndicate. Because remember what the Orion Syndicate does, right, folks?
Right.
I really like what Zathras put in the chat, but it cannot be repeated on the marquee. So
Oh,
I love you,
good.
Zath.
Man, Eric K, the great bronze rinser, says D-. This is a cheap knockoff of a bad Harlequin romance novel. That was some surgery. Inside and out, and lol, I thought Odo was good at detecting lies.
Yeah.
Guess Odo did lots of research. Did I do okay? Well, you did.
Larry says it's the 48th. It's 48-hour rule of love acquisition.
Michael Beacom says, D. Ekavara took the sci-fi slider and moved it down to 2 for this one. While not as god-awful as STD, I feel the furthering of the now prevalent character shipping obsession here. Good parent, Michael.
And Lisa says, I thought her knocking boots was mental, not physical. Yeah, that's a very good point, Lisa, and I agree. It's just for the Orion Syndicate, it just really makes you wonder because of what they do, right? But yeah, you are right. She does say that
right.
all of her knocking boots was mental on the net.
They had her OnlyFans or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see, page 35. This time they're ripping off her, inspired by the 1952 film Narrow Margin, where a cop falls for a witness he's transporting to trial, only to find she's an undercover cop too. Yikes. Hang on a second. Find
you know what's even better? When you have your own ideas and you write them down.
Well, yeah, that comes in handy. I want to subject the writers to aversion therapy, lock them in a room with a James Blish compilation of a Harlequin romance, delivering shocks every time they reach for the romance. Yes.
Yeah.
Good old James Blish. Let's see here. I hear you on FM, partner. Gotta find your last one. Hang on one second.
Lisa says, yeah, that's why she had that neural link. Yeah, and but that was also for moving data for Drame, right? But
yes.
yeah, it's just I think what Clobby was trying to get at there, Lisa, is that she was like this a married woman. So why? And then like Eric K said, why would a married woman sign up to go away for 2 years? To go and do this for the Orion Syndicate, knowing that the Orion Syndicate deals in, and I'll just say this to bypass the algorithm, the SEX slaves. So it's
Right.
if all she did, if she only did it through the net, as she said, that would be quite shocking because of what the Orion Syndicate does, right? So why would she sign up for that?
Yeah,
It's just weird. Anyway,
people are weird.
Yeah.
Page 434. The writers had been wanting Odo to get it on with a girl while he was still human, but couldn't fit it in until he was already turned back. That would have made it relevant at least. Yeah, that's a good point. It's like you at least kind of understood. I mean, it'd have been less awkward, maybe the word for it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Especially because then he would be experiencing the sensations of a human being and the way that the human body works. Like, imagine having goosebumps for the first time. Wouldn't that be glorious? You know, and something special and science fiction-y could have been made of this. So yeah,
it would have made more sense. Yeah, Lisa says D+. The Chip storyline doesn't make sense. She unknowingly would have been the only one interested in not handing her memories Chip over. Just a poorly constructed plot device in order for Odo's.
Yeah.
Hang on, Lisa. I got to find your other one. There we go. Relationship with her could sadly end. Excuse me. Couldn't keep from wondering how it was to kiss with Odo's super huge nose.
Roxanne.
On a separate note, yeah. Way to go, Odo. Well, yeah. Glad Odo scored. Yeah. It's good to score.
For me, my mind always wanders to the point where we had that moment where a changeling could enter a humanoid form and turn the humanoid form into a changeling. So it's like, that's when you look back on that other story and you're like, that was such a huge mistake. Why did they do that? Anyway. Clubby, honey, your microphone is off.
Damn it! I don't know why I did that.
That's okay, sweetheart. You have to begin again, darling, because we didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I didn't think I did that. All right, sorry everybody. Enigmatic Drop Bear's back with us. Hey, buddy. Good to see me. I'm so glad you have me.
Very good to see you. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. C- says ED. Simple is what it says, and simple is what it is. Prosaic and too heavy on the melodrama, and once again, Odo indulging in too much indiscretion.
Yeah.
In his role as security chief.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Sid says, as always. It is, though, a return to episodic storytelling and reprieve from the chaos and political drama unfolding around it during this season's other episodes. Let's see here. It includes a neat, underexplored cyberpunk element that the data port implant for interfacing with computer systems, and its more controversial use as a mental prostitution device.
Yeah.
A net girl.
Like that's what I wanted to explore. I totally agree with you, Enigmatic Drop Bear, because that's where the science fiction is.
Indeedishness. I couldn't help but perceive Arissa as Odo's Vash. An archetypal femme fatale, pursuing her own agenda with Odo on the losing end of an ultimately unrequited love. Thank you so much, AD. Raymond Feliciano says D. You got 2 Ds for that one, buddy?
It's a double D.
A double D. One look at a strange woman he forgets about Kira. Q Claboni. Well, Raymond.
Yeah, he's supposed to be in love with Kira, but they do this with Kira too, though, Raymond. This is why I complain about it so much. It's like 1 minute Kira's in love with everyone, and the next minute everyone's in love with Kira, and then Odo's in love with Kira, but then he's not. Like even when he's in Garrick's shop, he looks at that lady and he's thinking hubba, you know. So I don't know. It's crap.
If Raymond wants the Claboni, Raymond gets the Claboni.
Yeah.
The special Deep Space Nine Claboni at that.
Larry wants Odo to just become a tribble.
I'll see what I can do. Steven, aka Kal-El Super Ren, says B-. This episode was a decent Odo-centric story with further developments. The character which further develops the character somewhat. I did enjoy the scene where Odo interrupts Bashir's highly sweet time during his secret agent. I did too. I think that was kind of funny. I like that kind of stuff sometimes. Simulation. O'Brien as the simulation. I'm sorry. Is okay. O'Brien as the antagonist, taking advantage of the situation that developed, was pretty hilarious. However, the episode's A plot of Odo's first real attempt at romance didn't interest me one bit, although it did help him. It did help him by learning from his errors. This would have worked if he were still a solid, as it would have shown him embracing another aspect of life as a solid. Yes, I think we're all in agreement that they did it. Their timing was off, as the case with this show was a little bit off.
Yep.
A decent episode overall, but one that can easily be skipped upon the rewatch of the series. Are you advocating missing episodes, leaving episodes out? My goodness.
Why
Dang
must
it,
I
Kal-El.
be a shapeshifter in love? Is that how the tune goes?
It is. I think it is. I believe it is. Okay. C plus says Pleasant Valley Peacock. Nice to see an episode with Odo as central character. Arissa, intriguing character as a data thief for the Orion Syndicate. Not sure I believe the relationship was built so quickly. Yeah, that's often the problem with short TV shows, isn't it?
Middle-aged people falling in love in 24 hours? No. No.
I mean, it might happen to me, but most people not.
Well, we're not talking about that cookie lady you're in love with.
Who?
What's her name? The lady that was on the gangster show that made all the cookies and desserts and stuff. The redhead that you really love.
I don't remember now, but if she's a redhead, I probably did love her.
Yeah, you really love her. She's like at the
Gangster
top
show?
of the Clobby list.
Gangster show? What gangster show? I don't watch gangster shows.
I think she was in. She was the star of a show where they were money laundering.
Doesn't sound like me, but if you're talking about Christina Hendricks, so
That's her. That's her. I think that's her.
oh, she was on Mad Men, but I didn't watch that. I saw her in Firefly. Anyway, Odo asking, but I do love her. But it's her, you know.
Ooh, hooby dooby. Perk's here.
Perk.
He's ready for first contact and tequila.
What's up? 160 or 130?
Yeah, 130.
Oh, where's 160? Now we got you 130. Odo asking advice about women from Julien was funny, if a bit silly. Miles telling Julien about Odo's bedroom eyes made me laugh. Nice to see Odo getting some romance, even if a bit contrived. Okay. It was interesting to see the facial appliance they attached to Renee from a different angle when he was in bed with Arissa. Made me realize just how seamless and well done it was. Okay. Worf's disapproval of Dax gossiping to Kira was a fun moment. Yeah, that was. I agree. And in character. The Guidanian official informing Odo that Arissa was not who she appeared to be was a convenient plot twist. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if ensured, it ensured since she was a different person, there was no way she would remain with Odo. I felt for poor Odo. I felt for poor Odo. Back to being alone. It was a soap opera, but I enjoyed a change of pace for Odo. All right, Tudor. Well, there you go. Wolfie says, one of one, but there's a C.
I got 5 kids to feed.
I got 5 kids to feed, so take them to the dentist. Good.
So take them to the dentist. Total
Recall.
I love Recall.
Reference.
Recall,
I love that movie.
Recall.
4 kids to feed. What about the 5th? Man, you got me. I ain't even married. Max Redstone City.
That's a terrible moment, isn't it? That's such a great sci-fi movie. I love that sci-fi.
I love that movie. I love it. D. Yet another figgity diggity Odo rom-com. If Odo has such feelings, I only want them expressed for Major Kira, or maybe not at all. Odo the swinger, no. We love our stoic and disciplined lawman. Indeed, that's a good point there, Maxer. The Catman, a.k.a. D.D. Meyer, says, Bobby, I disliked this episode with a passion. Oh, my goodness. I don't think they were thinking when they made this.
Thinking.
Number one, thinking. He said he accidentally meant thinking.
Yeah.
I felt like I was watching a reality show instead of Star Trek. I give it this
Yep.
one an F.
Yeah, that's a good
Wow,
one.
F this
That's a good
episode,
one.
right?
I agree, Dee Dee.
Fandy Outside says, C. I say this isn't Odo losing his virginity, as didn't he join with the other changelings in the Great Link? This was Odo taking a walk on the solid side, getting solid with it. Filler episode. Okay, there's some nice little puns there. Thank you.
He doesn't exclusively say that what happened in the great yellow puddle, in the great golden puddle, was exclusively sexual. He just, he doesn't say that it is, but yeah. Anyways, it's
Snail
weird.
Messiah.
Okay.
Snail Messiah's here.
Hey, nice.
Snail. What's up, Snail? Trying to make sure I don't miss anybody there. There we go. We're good. Oh, well, are we done with this one?
We're done. Can we just get rid of it?
A pimple investigation is done. All right, folks, on to the next episode, and that would be beeswax as usual.
Oh, boy. More of this crap. Yeah, the man from the golden goo. I completely agree. Simply Steve. Okay, Business as Usual is season 5, episode 18. If that number doesn't work for you, it's probably your streaming service. And the fact that DS9 is a multi-part iteration of Star Trek, and the numbers are all over the place internationally. It is production code 516, and we all watched this for the very first time on April 7th, 1997. I'm going to be reading from Wikipedia, the summary as written by the Wikipediaites. Wikipedsters? Whatever. Let's just do it. As Quark ponders the large debts he has run up, his cousin Gala arrives on the station and offers him a chance to pay them off by participating in an arms dealing scheme. Since Constable Odo will confiscate any actual weapons brought aboard Deep Space Nine, Quark will use the Holo Suite in his bar to simulate the weapons for potential customers. The merchandise will be supplied by Gala's associate, the suavely sinister Haygaff, and all transfers of cargo will occur off the station. Quark agrees to the deal, enticed by the prospect of settling his debts and even turning a profit. Haygaff arranges for Quark's percentages of the proceeds to go immediately to his creditors until his debts are fully paid. Quark is a natural at selling weapons, and the scheme becomes quite profitable. The Bajoran government prevents Odo from arresting Quark, citing Haygaff's sale of weapons to the Bajoran resistance during the Cardassian occupation. However, Quark soon finds himself ostracized by his friends, particularly Jadzia Dax, who is disgusted that Quark has sunk so low. Gala warns Quark not to cross Haygaff, bringing news that an associate who did so has been killed. The group's latest client is the Regent of Palomar, who wants to make a purchase that will kill millions of followers of his opponent, General Nozick. Gala and Haygaff take the matter lightly, but Quark is horrified at the idea of being responsible for so much death. For so much death, it's 27 million people. It's not so much death, it's genocide. Ugh, the people who write this crap. Having now paid off his debts, Quark realizes he must find a way to escape with his life and avoid being a part of a genocide program. What? Not a program, it's a war. He invites Nozick to the station on the pretense of supplying weapons to both sides and arranges for Nozick and the Regent to encounter each other in the cargo bay. A firefight ensues between the two leaders, and they pursue Gala, and Haygaff off the station, believing the pair to be responsible for a double cross. The Regent is later killed by Nozick's forces, preventing his genocidal plan. Quark's friendship with Jadzia is renewed. It's a miracle, just like that. But he ends up in debt once again when Captain Sisko makes him pay for the damages caused by the firefight. Gee, Wally Wiggers, isn't that convenient? Meanwhile, O'Brien has trouble caring for his new son, Yoshi, who cries incessantly unless O'Brien holds him. He carries Yoshi around all day, even at work, and while playing darts at the bar. The baby finally settles down when Worf holds him, allowing O'Brien to get some much needed rest. So now I'm going to turn it over to the boss and just say, boss,
Oh,
what do you think of business as pukable?
boy. Okay, hey there, Captain Infinity and
Captain
beyond.
Kennedy!
Good to see you there, Kimasabi. I hope you are beyond infinity today, or today for you, tonight for us. Yeah. God, just another nothing burger of a freaking episode with a lot of annoying crap in it. I don't really. Again, I'm tired of this. This kind of episode starts to get on my nerves after a while, when everyone has to be some kind of a. I know wasn't played for laughs necessarily. I like Quark Fine as a character. It was kind of weird to see the bad guy from Beverly Hills Cop be them in this one, but you know, whatever. What I think, what really got me the most about this episode is some of the hypocrisy in there. In other words, when Cisco reads Quark, the riot app, about his. Remember, he gets him that real dramatic scene when he just blasts him and yells at him with all this righteous indignation about how horrible he is and stuff. I'm thinking back a few episodes. I'm like, says the guy who basically used
Biogenic
weapons. Okay, you guys don't even look back. Righteous indignation from Cisco of all people. It's just,
who used a biogenic weapon and threatened to use the biogenic weapon on multiple planets?
Exactly. I don't have a lot of time for that kind of ridiculous inconsistency. But what I've been saying all along about this show, I've been saying, if you don't like something that a character does or the way they act or anything, just wait till next week because they'll forget about it.
Well, it's not only that. That's a very good point. And the thing that I've always hated about this episode on rewatch is only a person with the mind of a child would accept the premise of the fact that that he could not be prosecuted for being an arms dealer simply because he never touched the arms. The deals are very clear. There are digital records for all of them, and he is definitely doing that. And there is significant proof of it. Only a child would think that just because he did it on a holodeck, he did the deal on the holodeck, that there's no possible way he would be charged. He would be charged by Starfleet. And definitely, I don't think he would be allowed to be on a Federation station. And certainly, you could say, "Oh well, the Bajorans are really in charge of Deep Space Nine," but the Federation, or not the Federation, Starfleet is in charge of policing it. So why would they have an arms dealer on board? Right. So I don't like being treated like a child in that way too. Like an adult would know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And beyond that, is an episode that's not particularly entertaining. I mean, this show seems to subsist on, and maybe this is a trend throughout the series, by the way. It subsists on goodwill from fans to the characters. In other words, we all like these characters, and so more often than not, an episode will basically subsist off the goodwill that fans have towards these characters, seeing them in situations we just like these actors, they're terrific and all this other kind of stuff. When also more often than not in the case of this show, the story is either bare bones or really lacking or filled with just terrible illogic that doesn't make any sense, or sometimes all of the above. And this is one of those. This is just, again, and it's frankly not particularly compelling in any way.
No.
And O'Brien and this baby. Yeah, if that floats your boat, then I guess. And but it doesn't do a whole lot for me. None of this episode does. I think it is boring. I think it's not particularly compelling at all. As I've said, I just I'm tired of. Again, I do like Quark, but here we are, Ferengi episode after Ferengi episode after Ferengi. So I was like, all right,
yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, notes.
Quark's cousin pleasures himself in front of Jadzia. I think this is weird. Also, he acts like he's never seen a clothed female before, even though he's on a space station and he's an arms dealer. He's like, oh, a clothed female. What? Who gave that guy that line? That person needs to be put in an agony booth. I want to take their agonizer and put it on their forehead, and I want to deploy multiple shin kicks and perhaps some Klingon pain sticks. Let's put this person through the Klingon rite of ascension. This was the dumbest line. Just dumb. Anyway, Miles is a single dad.
Yes, Max, I got it, by the way.
Miles is a single dad who brings his baby to work. And he also plays darts with his baby. Miles, the single dad. Like, could they make us dislike Keiko more? Do you know what I mean? Quark gets a happy ending. The fact that Quark gets a happy ending on this show in front of us is just weird. The melodramatic dream Quark has is hysterically bad. It's like a cheesy version of He Must Face the Prophets. And there's so much of this on this show that it's just, it's cringy. It's so cringy. It's like chewing wool or aluminum foil, tin foil. It just feels so gross. You get a physical reaction to it. Also, the weirdo circle of random adults admiring Miles's baby, Yoshi, in the pit. Is this the first and only baby on DS9? No, it's not. So who thought of this scene? This person needs to have Klingon pain sticks applied liberally. Quark gets out of killing people. Then we go back to the baby story. Then Quark owes Starfleet money. So this is where the dumbness begins again. Because, in Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek, one would imagine that there is some type of, mint where they do exchanges so that the planet can succeed and so that they can trade with outside worlds. But on Earth, we're not using currency. And we're doing that, because Gene thought that we would get rid of poverty, we would get rid of war, we would get rid of all these things. So it's left undiscussed for a reason. It's because you're supposed to play it inside of your imagination. Oh, wouldn't it be wonderful to transcend the need for money? This is such a hopeful message. I just think that it makes it sort of weird and kind of dumb once we get down to the nitty-gritty of talking about it. It takes away from the beauty of this thing that Trekkies have, where we get to imagine a world where there's no poverty and no war and no need for people to have money. Like it's a pretty outstanding thing. And I'm sure that if we had Gene L. Kuhn and DC Fontana and Gene Roddenberry to sit down and explain it to us, they'd do a much better job. So I don't like that being raised by Sisko. I think it's dumb that he turns around and says that Quark owes Starfleet money. It just opens up the can of worms that Gene didn't want opened. That's supposed to be your imagination space. That's not, nitty gritty. Anyway.
Leia Rose. Hello there, Leia Rose.
Hi, Leia Rose. I also feel like I'm watching a kids show. So here, Quark has been responsible for a significant amount of arms dealing on various planets. Possibly hundreds of thousands or maybe even millions of people have died. There could be war crimes. There's all of these things that he is responsible for. He has sold a significant amount of arms to militias, to warmongers, to psychos, to sociopaths, and he doesn't have to atone for those sins, not with Sisko or Jadzia. In the end, Quark and Jadzia are sitting on the floor playing Tongo like Monopoly. And it feels so weird. It's like you're watching a little kid's show. It's super insulting to your intelligence. And it just doesn't make you believe in Starfleet. And it doesn't make you believe in the Federation. And it doesn't allow you to stay immersed in the pretend universe that you long for so badly. It reduces Star Trek into so. Yeah, not good. It's just not good for a lot of reasons.
Right there with you. Just Just a waste. You could have done something so much better than this drivel.
Yeah.
So, what is your rating of beeswax as usual?
Okay, well, I originally gave it a C minus, but I had a glass of wine and I was eating my favorite chips when I gave that rating. I'm going to reduce it to a D because I no longer have a glass of wine and I no longer have the favorite chips that I love to eat. It's a D.
Well, I only have my wonderful sweet Arizona sweet tea, so I'm sticking at my D as well. We're gonna once again the same rating, 2 in a row here tonight. So yeah, it's just D because it's dull. It's not interesting. It's not. This does nothing to advance any kind of even their arc. It's just a waste of time, and
Mm-hmm.
not and has a lot of dumb crap in it. So just me, not very entertaining. All right, everybody. Now, please send forth your ratings and any words you may have about business as usual. And while number one is collecting those, I shall bring us some more extraordinary Max Redstone entertainment. So let me see here. Business as usual by the great Max Redstone. Hang on one sec. Where'd it go? Okay, here we go. Oops, hang on a second. Need a major clear there. Okay. All right. Business as usual by the great Max Redstone. Him. When Cousin Gala shows up, when Cousin Gala shows up, things get bad. Selling guns from the hollow sweet pad. A situation he should bail. Quark is hooked on the sale. And oh yeah, Miles O'Brien is still a dad. I like it. Well done, Max, as always, brother. Max also said something before we get with the reviews earlier. He said, seriously, at the very least, Quark using the holosuite on the station is to broker a deal and avoid handling the contraband is still committing wire fraud and a criminal conspiracy. One would think, wouldn't one? Very well said.
Yeah.
So, with our reviews, we start now with the great enigmatic drop bear. ED says D minus. I do love Armin Shimmerman's portrayal of Quark, but the character truly is reprehensible. Yep. He only realizes the deplorability of the business he is party to and feels guilty about it when the casualties get into the tens of millions. Yeah. Less than that, and he's apparently fine with it. That's a very good point. And it is really just, it's sort of like what they did to Cisco a few weeks ago. You're trying to ruin the character. It's a good thing it doesn't stick. Nothing ever sticks with any characters in the show.
I love it when you say stuff like that, Clobby, because, so many people defend the crappy writing that we get, some crappy writing we get on this show by saying, well, it's a drama and it's character driven. Well, then make sure you're writing a good drama and make sure you protect your characters. Your characters have to have some type of outline where you can trust their behavior and get to know them like you would get to know a friend. When you immerse yourself in a book and you expose yourself to a character, and that you learn so much about that character, what he likes, what he eats, what he looks like. You can't just change all of that. Otherwise, you lose trust. You lose trust. You don't believe in the pretend anymore.
Indeed, they're so wildly inconsistent with their characterization on this show.
Yeah.
Probably more show than even TNG. I mean,
Yeah.
There may be more inconsistent than them. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And let's not forget that he has previously been busted for participating in the weapons trade, and other forms of illegal trafficking. Yes. So,
boss man,
yes.
the chef is here. Mr. Angel is
Really?
here, and so is Jerry Lahane.
Chef, what is
Evening,
up?
Chef.
Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. And Jerry, good to see you. All right. Always great to have friends popping in. We appreciate that so much. Worse than this, though, is his being maligned by both Starfleet and Bajorans for being party to the lesser deals, but is redeemed when he successfully thwarts a truly monstrous deal. Let's see here. This does not redeem Quark, and that he was condemns the station's leadership as callous hypocrites. Yep. The episode is infantile, lacks a moral compass, and has nothing constructive to say. Excellent stuff. Well said. Enigmatic drop bear.
Eric K is asking where Chris Persia is because he said that he would be here earlier. Yeah, I am concerned about Chris. I'm going to reach out to him. I love him very much,
okay.
And it is weird that he's not here, especially if he said he was going to be here, Eric. So, yeah, I just, Eric, can you do me a favor? Can you please drop him a note and say that we're asking for him, that we're all thinking of
we're
him?
all worried about
just
him,
make sure that everything is okay. He really loves his family. He's really there for his family. And you know, I just want to make sure everything's okay. And if he needs us, because, you know, Chris is important to all of us. So if you could do that and
Chris.
just let him know that Clobby and I were talking about him and asking about him, and that you were, you know, looking forward to hanging out with him tonight. And I'll reach out to him after the show. Love you, Chris.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for mentioning that, Eric. Like we were talking about it before, we were kind of wondering.
Yeah.
I know, you know, maybe just something came up, but we're kind of, you know, I saw him at a stream. Was maybe Gary stream today? No, you were both at Gary's stream, I think, today, right? So that may be where I saw him. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I love him. So
absolutely.
Eric, can you check in on him, and I'll check on him right after the show. He is a friend of mine. I do care about him. So, and boss man, you should know that our good friend Double C has just walked through the door.
Double C.
Mm-hmm. All right. Long time no see, Double C.
Yeah, Double C. Welcome. Let's see here. Okay, on the counterpoint from ED, we have the great Kal-El. Our good friend Kal-El, the super wrench, says, this was not only an excellent Quark-centric episode of the series, but also a look into the darker side of capitalism as it exists in the 24th century. While TNG's The Most Toys shined, I think I enjoyed that one as well. Yeah, but that was, I like that one. Shined a light on the survival of greed well into the future. This episode does an equally good job of highlighting how greed and ruthlessness are far from extinct in Star Trek, in the Star Trek universe. Gala's line about there being thousands upon thousands of worlds in the galaxy and how no one will miss one of those worlds if it were suddenly to disappear as a result of a war is chilling. Quark's, hang on, let me get you next one. Quark's development is interesting in the episode too. While he tries to deny it, he does in fact have a conscience. And the plan of action he takes to resolve the mess he had gotten himself into was, certainly innovative. This was a really enjoyable episode, not only of the series, but a really good episode of Star Trek overall. Well, there you go. Our great friend and the great wrench himself, Kal-El. Thank you, buddy, for that.
Eric, thank you, sweetheart. I really appreciate it. Zathra says that Chris just might have realized how sucky these episodes are, so he's hiding.
What did Eric say? Okay, so
Eric said, "Don't worry, Raquel. I was going to do that anyway." So
okay, good. Yeah. Thank you, buddy. We are concerned about him because we see him. He's always here, and anytime he doesn't, he always says something when he can't. So we just hope all we care about is he's okay. No one's ever obligated to show up. People have things to do sometimes, and because we're your friend, when we don't see you, we get concerned, and we want you to all know that. And when someone is here as regular as he is, so. Zathras says D-. The only thing interesting is waiting to see where Mark D with a C will put these 2 crap episodes lower in his spreadsheet. I would rather watch Gray 17 is missing. Agree, Raquel? Gray 17 is missing. Wow. That's a Babylon 5 episode.
It is a Babylon 5 episode.
Yeah. Let's see. And of course, I would also rather watch that one.
I would rather watch Babylon 5 than this episode. Any day.
Yeah, me too. I'm about to start saying that about the whole series. But anyway, Shooter says C plus. Right from the start, Gala says Quark was always hesitant of selling weapons. I think Quark did have more reservations about weapons until he was facing bankruptcy. Yeah, well, that's fair, cop. Yeah, that's fair enough. Let's see. Hang on. Shooter, oh, there you go. An interesting look into the moral gray area of the arms business and the line where profit no longer outweighs the ethical consequences, even for a Ferengi. Also, the danger involved in the trade. How does an energy weapon pull to the left? I don't know. Did it? Maybe I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, he actually says that. He's like, "Oh yeah,
Okay.
this holosuite program is so accurate that the weapon even pulls slightly to the left."
Okay, weird. Okay, gotcha.
And why would an energy weapon pull? Anyway,
You got me.
that would be a question for Wolfie because I'm not an
Maybe
engineer.
Wolfie has a theory on that.
Yeah.
And Mark D, maybe you never know.
Yeah.
Also, what's with the fancy drone and mech targets? Do they exist out there in the Alpha Quadrant? Still, some nice weapon designs. Hang on. Quark suffers no consequences. At least he's back in the black. And the B story, a simple filler story with some humor while keeping the viewers up to date with baby Yoshi.
But he's not in the black because now he owes Starfleet money. And boss man, would you do me a favor? Would you please join me in welcoming Cam's Crash Courses?
Hey, Cam. What
Cam.
Good to see you, Cam. Hope you're doing well. Always a pleasure. Let's see here. Where were we? Okay, let's see. Lisa says, C. Quark dilemma, money or ethics? Tough choice for a Ferengi. Nice to see Quark has a limit. 28 million.
Right.
But should he have a limit? Crying baby, too real to be unfunny. Cute to see Worf hold the baby. Thank you, Lisa. Got you covered. I see what you're saying. Simply Steve, on the other end of the spectrum, or lower even, grade F. The A plot and title should have been called Quark's Conscience. B plot, poor Miles wanted to be free from his kid for a while and hands him over to the babysitter Worf. Where's the sci-fi?
Right? Ugh.
I didn't know.
It's so hard for sci-fi fans. It's like, where's the sci-fi? You have to sift through so much shite.
Yeah, that's right. Raymond feels the same way. He gives it an F for forgettable. Can we get to the Dominion War now? I think we're getting close, buddy, but you're still not quite there. If war is your thing, they're slowly slithering towards it. Eric K says D plus. Condemnation from the person who himself should be held up for crimes against humanity. Yeah. Okay. 5 minutes. 5 minutes. That planet had to evacuate. Yep. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Most could not. Oh well.
That's right.
Yeah. At least Quark saw the error in his ways. That is a good point because that Cisco speech rang hollow with me. It was well acted, but yeah,
yeah, and he did, and he was the one who gave the order. Not just the weapons, but also the order.
Absolutely see what you're saying there. Wolfie says C minus. We didn't need to know. We didn't need to know more. The great cousin Gala owns his own moon because he sells weapons speech. Yeah. We didn't need to expand on this. Good pernt. Michael Beacom says C minus. Didn't totally hate the B story here as a parent. I could relate with O'Brien's situation. But do we really need to explore this on DS9? That's a good point. Sci-fi should be going where other shows cannot. That's a wonderful point that always gets me with this stuff. You can show nuances of their life here and there, but you know what? If they didn't do it so much, there's the problem with that, Michael. Stuff like that it seems to be the majority rather than the minority, or it's the exception rather than the rule when it comes to this show. It has way too much of this crap. A little of it, I don't think anyone would begrudge them showing that they have lives here and there. But good God, they do it so much. That's maybe this is me. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Always love seeing Steve Burkhoff. Yes, he is the bad guy from Beverly Hills Cop and Rambo 3, right? Again, faulty script uplifted with great casting. Page 437. One of the co-writers, Weddle, came from a family of salesmen. So that is what he knew in this case. Okay. In this case, selling death. They were inspired by then current news of private Soviet nuclear sales, and they wanted to find a place where Quark found he had gone too far and had to get back somehow.
Soundress.
Yeah, I guess they managed it. Oh, what's he?
He's just being funny. You can't put it up on the.
Okay.
You can't put it up on
Gotcha.
the thing. It's just Zaff being Zaff.
Catman says, Clobby, I didn't care for the episode. I give it a solid F. Just as bad as the previous one. I'm so sorry there, buddy.
I know,
but I understand
right?
you. Phantom Outsider says, C. Ferengi aren't a part of the Federation, nor were their customers. So if aliens want to kill each other, the Prime Directive should be in play. The only problem was bringing violence to the station. I'm trying to do it like Steven Burkhoff, whatever. I'm trying to do an impersonation of the bad guy from Beverly Hills Cop. It's not working. I'm sorry. Proper Quark is more sure. And by the way, he was on UFO. That's right. I forgot. He was also on the UFO episodes.
What's UFO?
UFO. But it's still called UFO.
UFO!
UFO. He was on UFO and UFO. Quark is sure armed for defense, but his conscience kicks in once the reality of them being used is brought to the fore. Sell 10,000 weapons, fine, as long as you ignore those who will die. I had a sort of a Burkhoff going there, that I lost it. Sorry. I messed it up. Okay. I can quote him all day long, sir. Mr. Angel, good to see you there, buddy. He says B+. I enjoyed this episode. I never get enough of Quark episodes, and this one was hilarious. Seeing Quark struggle between greed and friendship, I thoroughly enjoyed. And the B story, what B story? It's more like a sliver, not much of a story, really, of any kind. Maximum Register says D-. Raspberries to the writers. This is full of frivolity, which can work in drama only if applied carefully. And here it isn't. This is not so much a story arc as it is a convenience circle. I'm going to get that Steven Burkhoff down tomorrow. With no real consequences, the stakes are not really that high, Quark. Even if the dialogue indicates as such, Quark couldn't commit some crime against humanity before consequences set in. Oh, wait, Cisco did that to ta-da, no consequences. Raspberries, what? I call shenanigans and... Oh, my God, you're killing me. Oh, Pleasant Valley Picker says... B-. Quark's shady cousin taking advantage of Quark's greed was predictable, but since Quark was broke and desperate, it made sense that he went for the deal. Haggarth is a sleazy crime. Why are you calling me sleazy? I'm not sleazy at all. Sorry, I'm the bad guy from Beverly Hills Cop, don't you know? Quark deluding himself by his greed weapons. His greed weapons are only defensive until the Regent of Palomar wants to make purchase. We did see the episode, by the way, old chap, that will kill millions was believable. The scene where Galia, I always called him Galia, confronts Quark about his conscience was chilling. Armin Shimmerman's acting was his facial expressions, alone conveying his horror towards his cousin's speech was impressive, to say the least, of course, old boy. Quark's scheme to bring the opposing sides together in Cargo Bay 5 was a convenient way to get him out of trouble. We've seen the episode, my friend. I liked Ferengi episode, not played for laughs. Goodbye, Mr. Vivoli. Have a nice day. I'm sorry.
Zathras would like the clawbony, please.
Well, he is Zathras. Zathras asks, and he shall receive.
Clabberin, contact force. Clabberin, contact force. Clabberin, then trace. Clabberin, if you proceed. Clabberin, you'll come with me.
Oh, so we done with this one?
Yeah, can we leave it behind,
Oh.
please?
Goodbye, episode.
It's not like we're moving on to
We
something
never want
good.
to see you again. All right, our next episode, folks, is drink of water and blood or something. There we go. You take it away, number 1.
Ties of Blood and Water.
Yes.
Season 5, Episode 19. Prod code 517. Sorry, I went to radio school. I taught broadcasting and I was in radio. So I say
Yes.
prod code. I mean production code. Sometimes I go a little weird on air. I'm sorry about that. Prod code means
Yes.
production code.
Das Wolfen, what is up?
Das Wolfen.
I hope you're doing. I know you've had some been under the weather a little bit lately, some surgery or whatever like that. So I hope you're doing well.
Okay, folks, we all watched this for the very first time, unfortunately, on April 14th, 1997. Now I'm going to read from Wikipedia. It's probably going to suck, but we're going to get through it. Take a sip of your beverage, saddle up, lock and load. Gamora arrives at Deep Space Nine, having left Cardassia after his activities as a dissident became known. Kira hopes that he will be the face of the resistance against the Dominion-controlled puppet government of Cardassia. But he tells her that he is dying. He wishes to participate in a Cardassian tradition in which a dying person reveals their secrets to the rest of his family for use against their enemies. He chooses Kira to interview him, since he regards her as family. Captain Sisko encourages her to participate, as Gamora's information could greatly aid the Federation and Bajor. Kira is hesitant at first, remembering the injuries her father suffered at Cardassians' hands during the occupation of Bajor. However, she agrees to hear Gamora's secrets and use them for good. Okay, well, that doesn't really explain what actually happened. And not only is it poorly worded, but that's not really true. What it does is it triggers her guilt because she wasn't at her father's bedside when her father passed away. And obviously her father was a part of the resistance and was injured. So I don't know why the people at Wikipedia allow this to exist. It's just crap. Anyway,
Happy to hear that, Das Wolfen, by the way. Happy to hear that. Good.
Good. Gul Dukat, the head of Cardassia's Dominion government, requests Gamora's extradition to Cardassia, but Sisko brusquely rejects him. Well, obviously, refusing to take no for an answer. Dukat and his Dominion liaison, Weyun, visit the station, intent on taking Gamora with them. Dukat first officers to unite Gamora with his long-lost daughter. Wow, this one's really off the rails, folks. Then gives Kira information that incriminates Gamora in a massacre at a Bajoran monastery. Finally, he delivers a bottle of poisoned liquor to Gamora's quarters, but Sisko intercepts it. Kira becomes furious at Gamora and spends as little time caring for him as possible. However, she later learns from Security Chief Odo that Gamora was only 19 at the time of the massacre, an inexperienced foot soldier Kira recalls that when her own father was badly injured, she chose to participate in a counterattack rather than stay with him and missed his death by minutes. And missed his death by minutes. Why would somebody write that? What a callous and ridiculous thing to say. And missed his death by minutes.
Yeah.
Whoever wrote this needs shin kicks. Like, how disrespectful. Realizing that she is letting her own past bitterness taint her relationship with Gamor, she returns to his bedside and stays until he dies. That's not it at all. Anyway, Ducat intends to tell the public that Gamor praised the Dominion with his last words and wants to have the body returned to Cardassia for a military funeral. Cisco rejects the request and allows Kira to bury Gamor on Bajor next to her father. Well, Cisco rejects the request because Kira has already buried Gamor next to her father on Bajor. So this entire entry sucks. Most of it is not true, as per usual with IMDb, with Wikipedia, and with the formerly great Memory Alpha. This is just crap. This is not actually what happened in the story. Anyway, I'll throw it over to you, boss. What did you think of Tired of All This Blood and Water?
First, hey, cousin Dave.
Hey, cousin's here.
Yeah.
Hey, Rayborn. Hi, sweetheart.
Good to see you there, buddy. Hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, this episode was definitely shot and filmed and transmitted on television and made and stuff. They have this really good actor who, of course, this is a sequel episode to a previous episode from an earlier season, for those who don't know, and everyone here knows because I've seen it, I guess. I got nothing. I mean, again, it's just sort of, I'm not even really angry about anything. I just don't really, I see this story and it's not particularly compelling to me. This is not not what I go to Star Trek for. I like these characters fine, but they're not doing anything. And it's just very forgettable. It's just like, I don't have a lot to say about it. Just go with your notes, because it's sort of, it happened and it's there, and it's not particularly compelling drama for me. I know that they thought it was. And here's the thing about that is, I don't know what's missing. Like, you take a great episode like Duet, and that was all the way back like the first season. Is that right? Or second? Maybe first season.
Second Skin?
Brilliant.
Second Skin, I forget.
No, not Second Skin. I'm talking about Duet.
Oh, Duet.
With Goldar Hill.
Yeah.
But that was just them talking, and it was brilliant. It was haunting.
Yes.
This is just not compelling. We know we know of their relationship from before that Second Skin episode, which was, I mean, I don't remember I don't remember what I thought about it. Just other thing was just there, I guess. But we know the relationship. We know this is just another kind of filler drama. It's meant to be a character study of Kira, mainly about her relationship with her fathers, both their real father and this sort of surrogate type father, their phony father, really, in a sense. But I just don't really get into it. It's just nothing particularly, other than it's character driven, and that's about it. But it's just not really particularly interesting.
And the characters fail. Like, all these people that write is drama. They're not science fiction writers. That much is very clear. And yet they fail at drama and they fail at character. So what's left?
Just that. There's raspberries. So, notes.
We circle back on the Gamor story. Kira receives the secrets of her Cardassian father. She faces her own demons with regard to her own, who she abandoned as he was dying. So he died alone. The sad part of this is that Kira never deals with her cowardice, her unwillingness to face death, and the cruelty that she bestows on the people who she loves, or she is supposed to love. There's possibly nothing worse than dying alone, and certainly leaving two men to die alone is just wrong. And I don't know why we don't get into that. I mean, it's interesting drama, so let's explore it. Let's unpack it. Does Kira have PTSD? Does Kira feel like if she could see her father, die, that would be the straw that broke the camel's back? She'd snap her crayons and lose it. I mean, let's explore that. Don't leave her a coward who is abusive to an old man who's dying and who left her father to die in a cave alone. It's just weird. We're supposed to like Kira Nerys. Anyway, Wayun, the clone idea. Once again, I would like to tell everyone that it is verified and it is absolute fact that the clone idea was introduced on DS9 due entirely to everyone falling in love with Jeffrey Combs. He did such a marvelous job that they decided to turn the Vorta into clones. So outstanding Jeffrey Combs as Wayun.
Hard to blame
Grunt
him.
and many
He's
other
great.
characters.
He's such a great actor.
Yeah, the whole idea of Dukat on the station under these circumstances is absurd. This is a person who brought multiple vessels and demanded that they surrender DS9 as Terak Nor. So the fact that Gul Dukat would be, marching around in the hallways making his demands is absolutely patently, not patently, but absolutely atrociously absurd. Like, no one would believe this. This is a military facility. Starfleet is there to protect the Bajorans. Pick up a military handbook or at least study military a little bit. Like, I write science fiction, so I do research on science and technology and medicine and futurism and outer space and aliens. That's what I research, and then I write about it as a communications and technology scholar. If you're writing drama, maybe do some research on your drama. Idiots. Nincompoops. Yeah. Anyway, I hate that Nerys abuses the old man, Gamor. Sort of slapping him around, showing that she's kind of violent. I don't like this at all. I don't like that Kira Nerys would do this. Elder abuse is a very serious issue, and especially when somebody is in palliative care. It can be very hard to care for somebody when they're going to the washroom in a Depends undergarment. They may have dementia. They may have to have their mouth moistened. They're lost. They're lonely. They're afraid. They're not themselves. They may be saying things that aren't even a part of their personality due to their illness or dementia. It's a very, very serious issue. And the way that it's handled in this episode is appalling. It is appalling. I don't like the way she throws around the old man and acts angry. And the reason being is the idea that Gamor would have an absolutely clean record with Cardassia and would be this benevolent person who has always been known to be a Bajoran sympathizer is absolutely absurd. Of course, Gamor would have a past, just like Kira has a past. Kira has done things that she shouldn't have done either. Things that would be considered war
that
crimes.
That whole bit was terrible.
Yeah, so that's dumb. That he be a known Bajoran sympathizer is absurd. So Kira giving in to behaving like Dukat's puppet also betrays her character, because Kira is supposed to be incredibly clever. So much so that she went from being in the resistance to taking over Terak Nor and being the number one of Cisco of the Federation of Planets and Starfleet in running DS9 and representing not only her provisional government, her the permanent government, and her entire religion, as well as her whole planet. So it's just dumb. And some of the messages being sent here are disgusting. And they bring up the issues, but then they don't discuss them. They don't handle them the way that they should be handled. The elder abuse of somebody in palliative care, somebody who's violently ill and dying. There's violence there that's never addressed. And the reason why she did it is psycho. And I don't like the fact that she has these demons where she's abandoning people and leaving them alone to die, and we don't even get close to addressing why she's doing that. Isn't this a wonderful character moment where we get to see her say to Gamora, you're not my father. You've asked me to call you a father, but you're not my father. And I will never consider you my father. I thank you for what you did when I was captured. But this opportunity that you have given me has been more than just for my people. It's also been for me. I want to confess to you that I left my father, and there is too much to reconcile between our two peoples. But through your love for me, I was able to find my way back from what I did to my father, and I regret that, and I love him, and maybe have her cry, like, but she acts like a cold, calculating psycho, and her rationale means nothing. And the writers bring up two incredibly serious issues, and then treat it so poorly that I'm appalled by it. And that's it.
No, I don't blame. Excuse me, I don't blame you one bit. Dad man, and the dad man. I think he's already. He just passed through. He's probably gone already, but he stopped to hello. But be careful out there, my friend. Good to see you. And the thing is with us. The thing, clobber on. Good to see you there, buddy. So yeah, there you go. What you said. And let's make short work of this puppy. What is your ranking of ties of bloody water?
The thing about the somebody being vulnerable, violently ill, dying from a terminal illness, and also being a senior citizen, and Kira being violent with him and sort of throwing him around in the bed, that's a place where no one should have gone. That is very, very bad, and I don't like that sort of thing. And the fact that the way that it's treated and not remedied, it's not rectified, that is not good. Okay, that's not good. And I don't like the fact that they open up this can of worms about this thing that is wrong with this person, where this person is not whole because of all the death and destruction that has been around her, and it's just a ball that she picks up and then throws. I think is ridiculous and horrible for the franchise, horrible for the character, and horrible for the viewer. And so for those two reasons, I'm sorry. I know you guys know I don't do this often, but I have to give this one an F.
Raymond Feliciano, good night, buddy. Have a good one.
Good night, Raymond.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a D. I don't like it. It doesn't piss me off as much as it does you, but it's not any good at all. And I thought it was drivel, so D for drivel for me. That's 3 D's in a row for me. Wow. I thought I only had double D's tonight, but yeah, I got 3.
You know, so, and if you're at home and you're listening to this,
don't worry,
I would
Lisa,
just like
fine.
to say that it's very important that people be aware that taking care of somebody in palliative care, somebody who's terminally ill, it can be very difficult. And that's why it's very important that you seek out a therapist, that you talk to your doctor, that you talk to the people around you, and you get the supports you need to get through that experience and make it good for everyone. And reaching out and asking for that help is incredibly important. And if you are struggling with your feelings, to reach out, do what Gene Roddenberry would have wanted you to do, to reach out and to talk to somebody, whether that be somebody who you love, or your clergyman, or your doctor, or a therapist, anyone, but reach out and make it right for yourself. There is no reason to have all of that anger and that hate, and certainly to not address any violence you would have towards somebody in palliative or senior care. Reach out and pull in some folks who are professionals who can help you through those times, and they will be so helpful to you and to your loved ones. Make the responsible choices, and you will be so happy for it, and share your burdens. And that's all I want to say about that, because I feel deeply appalled by this episode. And that's it, boss.
All right. Well, everyone, please give us your rating and any words you may have about the ties of bloody water. And while number 1 is preparing those, I got no big deal, Lisa. I got yours and I got Raymond. While number 1 is grabbing those, I'll bring us some Max Redstone entertainment. All righty then. Let's see here. Let him. Where am I? Okay. Tails, ties. Hang on. I got before I do that. Had to clear it a little. Ties of Blood and Water by the great Max Redstone. There we go. Kira's Cardassian dad is near death. No, Kira's Cardassian dad is near death. He has secrets of spectacular breadth, but the Major seems to need tissues because she has father issues. At least this time, she doesn't miss the last breath. Wow. Nice job. Great Max Redstone as always, knocking it out of the park there. Our wonderful friend Lisa is right there with you, even more so, probably. Lisa says F minus. Wow. Completely forgettable episode. Another lame episode for the actress that plays Kira. Kira being mean to dying fathers. Really don't like that. Nice. She buries her emotional victims together. Ugh. Yeah.
Oh my God, what a beautiful thing to
Nicely
say.
said, Lisa.
She buries her emotional victims together. My God, Lisa.
Good
My
stuff.
God, Lisa, what a
Yeah.
that's what you feel in your gut at that moment, isn't
Right.
it? Oh, Lisa.
Well said, Lisa.
Bravo.
Bravo indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Raymond Feliciano of King Dolphin TV. I think he had to run, but he left us with us. He's off to bed, but his grade is also an F. He's right there with you. Let's see here. Raymond is. Zathras says D minus again. Zathras wants to go beyond the rim and put me out of my misery. Clobby, run me over with the Cloboni, please. I can't take this anymore, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I'm coming to you. This is the big one. Yeah, now he's Fred Sanford. Well, just for you, Zathras.
CLOBBERIN, CLOBBERIN, if you proceed, CLOBBERIN, you'll come with me.
Yeah.
Oh no, Lisa, you deserve every compliment you're getting there in the chat. I completely agree with everyone in the chat. That I love what Shooter said. That's hard hitting. It is. It's just such frank talk and very revealing of the situation. And everyone loves what you said there, and brilliantly said. How appalling and so brilliantly characterized by you, Lisa.
Right.
Thank you for that.
Our elders have just have reverted to childlike states. Be kind. Okay. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
That's, let's see here. Shooter says D. A callback episode. Kira has a strong connection with Takeni. No daddy issues there. If anything, this episode shows that politics are complicated, if not a contradictory mess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure. Given Kira's past and previous statements, isn't it naive, if not hypocritical, to hold contempt to Takeni, given that no side of the war was truly free of crimes? Yeah, that's right. What really just made me crazy. That was so. These writers, so-called writers, are just terrible.
Just awful.
Sometimes they're really atrocious.
Yeah.
Of Jeffrey Combs is back. Yeah, that's always cool. Oh, yay. Also, isn't there supposed to be a Klingon task force at the station? Why would a single Dominion battleship be considered a threat?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's a good part.
Yeah, I always Clobby brings that up a lot, and so do I. I don't like this idea that that they're so vulnerable. It's the Federation, it's Starfleet, and yet one ship can show up and everybody's shaking and quaking in their boots. It is quite absurd, isn't it, Shooter?
Sure is. I think whatever message this episode was trying to convey just got muddled with the drama and fails to impress.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fair cop. Let's see here. Michael Beacom says C minus. The fact that non-visitor does not have a shelf of enemies is evidence of their anti-science fiction bias. An episode that also proves DS9's strength is in its cast and guest stars. Hang on. This is an example of writers using sci-fi to talk about something close to them, taking care of a critically ill family member. Per Wolf page. Okay, per Wolf page 440. Nana Visitor said she also related via personal. Hang on, I gotta find the next one, Michael. Personal experience. She related due to personal experience. I can forgive the lack of esoteric science as they tell a powerful and touching story that many will identify with. Emotional situations, good performances, tech took a back seat. Got you covered. Thank you so
Bossman,
much.
I just wanted
Yes.
you to know that our friend Gil Bavel has re-entered the chat. Cardinal Sin is back, and he sent you a gift.
Oh, thank you, Cardi. That's very kind of you, buddy. He says, don't forget to check out Midnight to Midnight after Clubby's stream. We'll be going for quite a while. All right, but yeah, everyone, of course, maybe you could always put the link in there. If anyone can put that link in there. But thank you so much, Cardi. Appreciate you. It's very kind of you, buddy. The great Max Redstone says, D-. Oi, another case of wrong officer for the operation syndrome. Wrong officer for the operation syndrome. Yeah, Kira is experienced in military operations, not intelligence. And Takeni Gamar is a major intelligence asset. Let's see.
Yeah, it's like when they sent Picard on I think military people call it a recon mission. It's like, you sent
Right.
Picard? Picard?
Well, he's the star of the show, don't you know? Why is Kira debriefing him alone? At least Kira should have been supervised by Starfleet intelligence. But instead, it feels like the opportunity to learn everything Gamar knows feels squandered.
Yeah.
Let's see here. The writers once again waffle Kira's feelings about prior bad acts of Cardassians. This makes Kira seem daftly unprofessional and arbitrary, and it's not enjoyable. Kira gets no real resolution.
No, she doesn't.
And I've got another one here. Man. And worse yet, she does things that make the viewer truly lose respect for her character. This episode was sacrificed because of fee-fees. Fee-fees indeed. Raspberries. Raspberries to that. At least Wei-Yun got rehired. Yes.
Boss man, the comic relief crusader just walked through the door.
Hey. What's up, dude? All right. Welcome to the comic relief crusader. What's up, man? Hope you are doing well tonight, sir. Okay, let's see who we got now. Let's see. Hang on. Eric K. the Great Runs Richer says, F this episode. They already got past the feelings of hate and had love for each other, made Kira very unlikable. It was really terrible. It was so bad. These writers need to see someone and get help.
Yeah.
Well, who knows where they are now? Das Wolfman says, what is below an F? Because this episode would be that poor.
I agree, Das Wolfman.
That poor for a grade. I hear you, Das Wolfman. Thank you. Enigmatic Drop Bear says, C-. This story was given a great setup from Second Skin, but sadly, it failed in the final third. It was such a lost opportunity for Kira's character. Ducat and his dogmatic pursuit of political advantage, regardless of the circumstances, was an intriguing juxtaposition with Wei-Yun's more nuanced maneuvering. Yeah, it was cool. It's always cool to see Wei-Yun. When Jeffrey Combs, like I said, terrific. The Catman A.J. Myers says, Bobby, I give this one an F. Man, he's a bunch of Fs tonight. Well done, man. Be brutal, buddy. Be brutal. Simply, Steve 68 says, grade D-. Major Kira Raspberries. I just want you to do that, for not concerned about my dad in his final minutes. Attitude. The Kot's demands are dumb. Tie-dyed with blood and water. Was bland and a little sci-fi in it again.
Yep, I agree.
Indeed. Thank you,
Totally agree.
Steve.
Totally agree.
Absolutely, Ishness. Let's see, where were we? Okay, so now we have Mr. Angel said no rating. This is a topic to close to a struggle. This is a topic to close, too close.
Too close.
He may mean too close.
Yeah.
To a struggle I have myself at the moment. And thank you for saying those words, Iron Briggs. It gives me some idea what to do. Oh, well, that's great.
Yeah, don't ever forget that there are lots of people who can lend a hand. You know, I'm agnostic, but I was raised in the church environment, and aside of churches, there are also people in your community. There are folks who can come together and even share the burden with you, but don't be afraid to ask for help. You're not alone. And if it's being done to you, you need to reach out and get help immediately. Don't let anyone harm you. There is a way out where no one has to be hurt or even have hurt feelings. There is a way to make it better. And I wish you love, and I wish you love and hope and comfort on your way out of that.
Stephen, the great, aka the great Kal-El, says this episode does a very good job of dealing with themes such as loss and the perception of betrayal. Akira's relationship with Gamar is one that many can relate to, as there comes a time when a person grows up and realizes the imperfect nature of their parents. Kira's flashbacks of what happened to her own father during the Bajoran occupation was informative and simultaneously poignant. It also speaks highly of Kira's character, that although from her point of view Gamor betrayed her by withholding certain information, she was able to forgive him in the end and have him buried next to her actual father in Bajor. This addresses both of the aforementioned themes admirably, especially loss. A great episode overall. You know, I don't think he withheld anything. He just didn't tell her that he was part of when he was a kid, he was in the military at like even Cisco at some point said he was like maybe 19.
Yeah.
When he was there on base, or he may have never fired a shot. They don't know.
And the fact that Cisco says that, it wasn't like he had some sort of special power or whatever, but it's also the fact that we know that Kira's hands are unclean. Kira has done some really super bad things. And the fact that she was in the lion's den. She was Daniel in the lion's den. And he risked his life to get her out of Cardassia and to get her safe. And so she should 100% trust him, because he made the ultimate sacrifice, his own life, to get her safe and to get her out of there. Boss man, Admiral T just walked through the door.
Admiral T, hey there, my friend. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. All right. Well, let's see here. Where are we at? Phantom Outsider says D. It was meh. Forgot in the previous episode that Gala's speech was taken from the Third Man, and Quark's speech to Dax was straight from Casablanca. Also, lesson 1 of how not to kill a Vorta, poison. Chat him. All right. And don't make him Jeffrey Combs, because you can never kill him. He's always going to come back. Comic Relief Crusader says D, because I just got here and I'm joining in. Okay, doke. Fair enough. Wolfie says C-. The ties of my inner intestine, skin, and bloody stool get gut-wrenching. How fun that the Kardashians are going to smear his name in death. Typical.
Mm-hmm.
Wayun 5, fantastic moments. We learned that Vorta are genetically built to resist known poisons. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was funny. Pleasant Valley Picker says A-. The Kateni Gamora Gira storyline was very enjoyable. I found Dukat was even more disgusting than usual. Nice to see an episode with no B story, as the A story was so powerful. some nice backstory scenes with Kira's father and her getting a second chance to be her adopted father when he passes. Anyone who has sat at the bedside of a dying parent will feel Kira's pain. Lawrence Pressman gave a strong performance, but the standout was not a visitor, one of my favorite Kira episodes. There you go. Well, I think we're about ready to move on to the final episode of the evening, don't you think?
Yes.
Ready?
We ready.
All right, folks. Well, our last episode of the evening is just an old Ferengi love song.
I was just gonna say that.
It's just so obvious, isn't it?
It is. Ferengi Love Songs is season 5.
By the way, while you're doing that, I must take medicine. So you got
Okay.
that.
Watch my 6, everyone.
All right, go for it.
Okay, Ferengi Love Songs is season 5, episode 20. If that isn't working out where you are, well, that's because of streaming services. It's prod code 518, and we all watched this for the very first time on April 21st, 1997. Now, I'm going to be reading from Wikipedia. It's probably going to suck. It's probably going to be wrong. And I haven't even previously read it, so I'm going to be cold reading it. So it's a recipe for disaster. You ready, everyone? Saddle up, lock and load. Depressed over his lot in life, especially being blacklisted by the Ferengi Commerce Authority, Quark returns to Ferenginar for some comfort from his mother, Ishka. Quark discovers that the Ferengi leader, Grand Negus Zek, is romantically involved with Ishka and living in her house. Zek demands Quark keep their affair a secret. Quark is thrilled that his mother is now the beloved of the most powerful man on the planet. However, Zek refuses to reinstate Quark's revoked business license, reminding Quark that it's up to the FCA. Quark returns to his room where Liquidator Brunt, the FCA agent who revoked his license, confronts him. Brunt offers to restore Quark's business license if he breaks up Zek and Ishka. Quark agrees and makes Zek doubt Ishka's motives in order to end their relationship. The plan works, and his mother is heartbroken. Brunt keeps his word and renews the business license. Zek offers Quark the position of first clerk. Quark happily accepts and then discovers the Negus is not the profit-making whiz he once was. By day's end, the Ferengi Market Exchange has experienced a drastic slide due to the Negus's failing memory. A stunned Quark returns home where Ishka reveals that she was more than Zek's lover. She was the power behind the throne, making him make business decisions. Ishka realizes that Quark turned Zek against her and may have destroyed the Ferengi economy in the process. Brunt reveals that his plan was to disgrace Zek, allowing Brunt to become the new Grand Negus. Quark feels guilty over what he has inadvertently done. The next day, Quark saves Zek by supplying him with enough brilliant advice to turn the economy around, but then reveals that the advice actually came from Ishka. After Quark admits to breaking them up, Zek and Ishka happily reunite. Brunt decides to let Quark keep his license, only so he can see him fail again in the future. Ishka, meanwhile, Ishka, thanks Quark for his help by giving him his childhood action figures that he'd previously thought were thrown out. A touched Quark thanks his mother, who says, "No, thank you, Quark." Back on Deep Space Nine, Quark's brother Ram finds his wedding plans derailed when his Bjorn fiancée, Lita, refuses to sign a Ferengi prenuptial agreement that says she will give up all claim to money and properties. Ram eventually realizes Lita is more important to him than money or Ferengi traditions and donates all of his money to charity, and the wedding is back on.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, what can I say, Quark? You know what this episode was? It was
inconceivable. 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 You keep using the word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
That's right, Quark. I'm in another episode. Aren't you glad to have me back? Oh, I'm so happy to be here this week. Has finally got me back in an episode. Why don't they put me in more of them? I don't understand it.
Ah, little Zeki.
Yeah, come here, my little kumquat. I don't even mind that you're clothed.
Oh,
It is still a little weird.
Zeki.
Oh, my. I could do that all day. No.
Me too.
Maybe I should review all the reviews that I read of yours this episode like that. Anyway.
Well, I think that would be a great idea, Zeki.
We'll see about that. All right. So, where were we? This episode. Ferengi love songs. I don't know about that. That's an old-fashioned love song. Look at that. There's Jill. Anti-derivative Jill.
Hi, Jill.
She's good at making profit. Very profitable Jill there. Hey, Jill. All right, so, yeah, this episode, though, let's dig into this one here. The name of the episode is
Ferengi Love Songs.
Love Songs, Jill. We just got done with a Quark episode 2 weeks ago. 2 episodes ago, rather. And,
Oh, Rom.
Ooh, Moogie. Ooh, Lito.
Oh, Rom.
Oh, my God. All right. I just
She wasn't super squeaky this week. I mean, it does get a lot squeakier.
No, she wasn't that squeaky this week.
No, we got a lot of Rom.
Let's
Not
see.
any Rom.
It certainly doesn't help that, like you said, Andrea Martin's not there because she was so much better as
Andrea
Moogie.
Martin was the best.
Andrea Martin was wonderful. Nothing.
I'm not just saying that because I'm Canadian.
No,
Ishka Moogie is a completely different character under Andrea Martin.
Yeah, because this lady, I don't know. I don't think I need to watch this episode. RAQUEL Club have given a great performance. Oh, thank you. You haven't seen that one yet, have you? Well, you can watch it. I mean, you get Jeffrey Combs a little bit, and he's great as Brun. He's always fun, but
but Cecily Adams as Ishka.
Wow. Be mean to the lady, why don't you?
No, she's terrible. She's a terrible. She's not Ishka.
I know, but you're definitely are gauging it against Andrea, who was really terrific. So yeah, I know, I understand.
Andrea Martin is a Canadian legend. We love her.
Right. Well, she was wonderful. So anyway, yeah, I don't have a whole lot to say about it. It was just another. I mean, it's not like as bad as some of the other stuff this week, but it's just I don't really care about this stuff. Again, here we are with another kind of a borderline comedy episode.
Is this science fiction? No, it's not.
Do they have to have a comedy every 5 episodes? And I've talked about this before, by the way. Okay, the original series, 3 bona fide comedy episodes, all very funny and very good, by the way. In my opinion, they're good. Maybe you don't agree. Okay, TNG. I don't know. Was there an episode a couple that were intended that leaned toward humor? Yeah, there were a couple. Whether you like TNG or not, it happened once in a while, right? But it wasn't every 3 weeks or anything. There were a couple of them. I don't even know of any like serious big comedies there were on TNG. Maybe there were, something like with Barkley, Holly Pursuits, that was funny, but it was still a good story. But once in a while, maybe there's some humorous episodes or lighter episodes. But Jesus Christ, what is these people on DS9 are obsessed with comedies, and we're not even done with them.
Well, they treat DS9. They often treat DS9 like it's a variety show. So,
yeah, but like I say, they've had humor in all of Trek, Jill. But I'm just saying, as far as Jill, they never, like I said, I Mud, which is a hilarious comedy to me. A Piece of the Action and Trouble with Tribbles are episodes that I would call comedies, and I adore them. But I can't think of. Yeah, there you go. The one with I'm not a merry man. It was Cupid. That would be one. Mm-hmm. And it was just dopey, fun, fine. Again, they didn't abuse it even on that show. They may have had some crappy episodes, but the other complaints we had were nothing about being a comedy. This is good God. We're toward the end of the 5th season, and they must have had 10 comedies already. I might have to go count that up and see. And anyway, this is not particularly compelling. Go with your notes.
Voles could be found and beamed anywhere. This is always an annoying storyline.
Oh, God, the Voles.
Always. Please stop pretending like there are voles all over the station and we can't just find them and beam them into space. Or beam them aboard a Klingon vessel. Beam them aboard a Cardassian vessel.
Why can't we sell voles to make money on them? Sorry.
Oh, Zeki, that's a great idea.
Voles shares have gone up by 10% because of you.
And then I wrote in yelling all caps, Andrea Martin is gone. This is very un-Canadian. Jadzia and Miles make Rom feel insecure about his relationship and prompt him to think about getting a prenuptial agreement. Once again, Jadzia is acting like a complete ASSHOLE. And Miles is I don't even understand why Miles joined in on that conversation. Why are they even having these conversations? And they don't reveal them to be a very nice people now, do they? The new Moogie sucks. This isn't my Ishka. Moogie and the Negus together, the new Moogie, barf. Ferengi marriages and romance, A and B stories. So it's just Ferengi marriages, Ferengi romance, A and B stories. At one point we have Ishka crying, and then we go to another scene where Lita is crying. So it's just lots of crying, women crying. Lita French kissing Rom is so disgusting. Like I just go, ugh! Like it just heebie-jeebies. Although there was a very cute little exchange at the end about the action figures, and I think that speaks a lot to geeks. It doesn't so much speak to nerds, but definitely to geeks who collect those action figures. And I think it also speaks to everyone who has ever gone home and wondered if your parents turned your bedroom into a sewing room.
Right, that was funny.
I had a very impecunious childhood, so abject poverty, to be quite precise, penniless. So I had no childhood home to return to, but I do understand it as a major thing that happens to folks as they get older. They say, did mom and dad keep my room? So I think that would probably make this episode endear itself to many people in the audience. But overall, the suckage is large. It's large suckage.
And yeah, I guess. Oh boy. Well.
Oh, Rom.
So, what is your rating of Ferengi love songs?
Well, I checked the markets, Zeki, and I had to go ahead and give it a D.
Well, I'm sorry. I have to give it a C- because I gave 3 straight D's tonight, and I thought I'd have to give, I don't know, whatever.
Davey B is in the house.
Hello there. Yeah,
Mark D with the C just walks through the door.
I see
dun, 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 dun.
I think I'm going to go with I'm just going to go with a C- because it didn't really piss me off that much, and I don't know, I just didn't really again. It's a weird feeling. So many times the show does things that I don't really go to Star Trek for, and it makes it frustrating. Whereas, and then they do a lot of stupid stuff, but sometimes when they're not doing something stupid, they're doing something boring. And this one has a lot of, I don't care about this kind of crap. This is Three's Company or whatever. I don't really care about sitcom crap.
At least Three's Company was funny. This isn't
funny. It was funny. I know
this
is
Ishka crying.
But it's trying to be like it, yeah.
And Lita crying, and just one is about a prenuptial agreement, and the other one is about, who's that the woman is secretly running the empire, and yeah.
No, you're right. Nope. I'm with you. I hear you.
This is not science fiction. I can't imagine DC Fontana, Gene Alcoon, and Gene Roddenberry all sitting around, rubbing their little hands together, waiting with anticipation for this to air. Are you kidding? Are you kidding?
No,
this DC Fontana is the person who showed up at a convention and said the Wesley Crusher issue. You telling me she would have put up with this crap?
No.
She wouldn't have put up with this crap. Neither would Gene, and neither would the other Gene. Both Genes and Dorothy would have said, it's crap.
Filler. A lot of filler.
Crap, as Zathras would say.
Crap. Oh, well, anyway. All right, buddies. Just give us your reviews, my friends. Go ahead and come forth with those, and we will
knock on the door.
Knock on her. I've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are hers and his. Three.
This shows us to do. So, everyone, come forth with your reviews, and we will start reading them right away. Fire it will. Hang on a second. I mean, don't hang on. Keep going. I thought I saw something in the chat. Okay. Oh, there we go. We'll get a couple of them stored up, then I'll start rolling balls. Hello,
this isn't science fiction. It isn't science fiction. Da.
Yeah, I think we got enough to start. Okay. Simply Steve says, F for I can't do it. My voice started to kill me. F for foul and mega Ferengi. What? Foul? Falling? Maybe you mean falling Ferengi financial failures? Okay, for falling Ferengi financial failures. Rom, Space Knight, and Lita have problems. Inconceivable. Some Rom, Space Knight I know I'm supposed to say rom-com, but I can't. This was. And Nishka also loses her love interest. Terrible ep all around. No sci-fi again. I hear you, bub. I don't blame you one dang bit on that one, sir. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with my damn mouse here. Zathras says D- again and again. The only thing left to say is at least Grand Nagus got his happy ending. My happy ending is never having to think about this crap again. Celebration song playing in the background.
God, you do such a good Zach. Everyone, please say hello to Matt G. Matt G just got here.
Oh, Matt G.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Matt G. Well, good to see you. What are you doing there, sir? No,
Simply
wait a minute.
Steve, I want my sci-fi too. And you can sing I Want My MTV to that. You can do that to the tune of Dire Straits. Yeah. I want some sci-fi too.
That's just in. Max did send one after all. We got one under the wire there, but you don't have to go to trouble, but we're glad to have it. So the great Max Redstone does have one for us. Ferengi Love Songs by the great Max Redstone, whom I'm paying way too much. Just kidding. I don't pay him anything, but I would if I would pay him a compliment. He likes those. Actually, he doesn't. All right.
Zaki's so good.
Ferengi Love Songs by the great Max Redstone. Quark is feeling the blues. His opportunity is feeling abused. It's a pain in the neck when Moogie is stooping Negasek. That's me. So he tries to split them up with a ruse. That's pretty good. I think you should make even more profit on that one.
I love that word, stooping. And everyone, please say hello to Lemon Pie. Lemon Pie just walked through the door.
Lemon pie. All righty. All right. So let's see. Where was we? I know that I promise I will stop doing the Zeki if it's annoying. I can't help it. I know it's annoying, but
Please don't ever stop doing Zeki. Your Zeki is spot on. It's as good as your Gorn. Your Gorn is perfect.
Oh, I don't know if I can handle both of them tonight. My voice is already starting to crack up. Let's see here. In fact, I gotta do this. A little clearing. Michael Beacom says, and he says, D, you think some people, a musical D? You think some people would have had enough Ferengi? Oh, you think some people would have enough Ferengi songs? Sorry, I look on DS9 and see it isn't so. A and B story, so it's downgraded. A story is Quark and Mom on the rocks. Seen it before. Gotta find your next one, dude. I was all over the place with that, and I'm a wreck. My throat is still killing me from all those Zekis.
JT Kirk!
JT Kirk. All right, JT Kirk's here. All right, man.
Yes!
Good to see you, Kimasabi. B story, on the other hand, was very relatable to me. Ram and Lita, while soap opera, again, reach for the Harlequin, zap them, was familiar to me. He's a potato, she's a beauty, and their cultures. Wait a minute. Gotta find it. Hang on, Michael. I gotta find his number 3. Where is it? Number 3. Dang it. Michael, I'm not seeing your number 3 yet. Go back up. Let me go back up here.
Where are you? Where are you? Just think of Counselor Cameltoe in the cloud.
One.
Where are you?
Could we have missed this 3?
I'm looking for it right now. I don't see it.
I got it.
Got it? Oh, there it is.
Just sometimes it'll just whiz by you. Our culture, I think cultures. What we say? Now I forgot what I read before. Yes, their cultures are very different, yet love finds a way. Wish they had followed the B story entirely. Bear's excuse on page 444 was that everyone said they were too dark. They were too dark seasons 1 through 3, not an improvement. Since when do you listen to anybody? With any fans or anything say anything? Yeah, I hear you, Michael. Since when do they listen to anybody anyway? Okay, dokily. Shooter says, B, Ishka and Zek are in a relationship? Inconceivable. A fun Ferengi episode with an interesting look at the failing faculties from old age. Did we get that in the last episode? They're repeating themselves, aren't they? Quark acts like a dick. Hurts those close to him, and yet I cheer for him. Again, no consequences. And Brunt comes out of the closet, yada yada. I'm sure a certain type of people will read too much into that. Well, yeah, I guess they might. I don't know, Shooter. You never know. You never know. The B story feels off. Rom Space Knight trying to be more of traditional Ferengis doesn't fit, particularly when there are no Ferengis influencing him. You know, that's something that I thought about as well in this episode there, sir. I mean, since when is Rom any kind of Ferengi whatsoever? He never really, he was in the early episodes. Then they changed him to not care about that kind of crap. But I guess, it's fine. He had a little bit of it in him. Herc. So how do you spell that? I don't know. No. I don't know what that means. Okay.
That's a rating.
That is rating? Okay. Fair enough. Wolfie says, I'm having trouble with my mouse here. B-. Wally Sean is always a treat. Who's that? These two grubs are not crunchy. Ferengi action figures I want. They're really, really cool Ferengi action figures too. But don't take them out of the box like Quack did. Actually, do take them out of the box. Dang it. The Catman, aka Didi Meyer, says, Claudia, I give this episode a C. Well, at least that's a little bit step up from what you've been given there. Good. So you didn't have too bad of a time then. Stephen, the great Kal-El, says C minus. Although I normally enjoy a Quark and even a Ferengi-centric episode, this one had both A and B plots that were completely uninteresting to me. The idea that Zek would be progressive enough to overlook Ishka's defiance of the female Ferengi's role in that society was incredibly difficult to believe. Ron being disturbed at first by the compliment from O'Brien and Dax regarding him being the least Ferengi-like Ferengi they have ever met is totally believable, and his attempt to get Lita to sign a contract is merely his attempt to assert his embracing of traditional Ferengi roles in its society. Ishka being the power behind the throne was definitely an interesting twist, but it only works if one can believe that Zek accepts Ishka wholly, which doesn't appear to be the case, since he's fooled into thinking she had an ulterior motives so easily. That was pretty silly. This episode was okay, but it was also my least favorite Ferengi-centric episode of Deep Space Nine. Well, thank you so much there, Steve. Appreciate you. Earlier, I think I can't even write a limerick here. Said, Max. Sure you can. You can write them anywhere, dude. Well, I guess they would fit in the chat, but then I guess you could, you want to surprise everybody with it, though. Lisa says, where's it? B plus. I am being heard, right? You hear me, number one? Sound check?
Sure do, boss.
Making sure.
I
No,
would
it
let you
sounds
know
really good.
immediately, I promise.
Okay, you're good. Gotcha. B plus says Lisa, very fun episode. Ferengi cracked me up. Moral of the Nam story: sign the damn prenup. Lost money for love. Liked Quark's mom characterization. Smart, helpful, loving, and a tiny bit of a feminist. Well, there you go. Let's see. Mr. Angel says C. Only there is a great woman behind every great man trope is saving the episode from a lower rating. That and the Ferengi action figures. That's a fair call. Let's see here. Pleasant Valley Pico says C plus. Oh no, not another funny Ferengi episode. This one really annoyed me in the early scenes. Ready to stick a finger down my throat 10 times in 10 minutes in, excuse me. B story, again, forgettable. However, once the plot evolved and they delved into the Grand Nagus memory loss and Brunt manipulating Quark to attempt to gain power, the story became more interesting, which raised my rating. Okay, let's see here. The last bit with Quark's Moogie telling him his action figures would have been more valuable if he had kept them in the original packaging made me laugh. That was funny. The great enigmatic drop bear. D minus. Said you shouldn't judge a book by its cover or an episode by its title, though in the case of this hackneyed mess, you can. The fate of the Ferengi Empire rides on Moogie's support of the Nagus, and Quark readily sells her out for personal gain. What was that about his character being reprehensible? Yes. And what is it with the architecturally anomalous Ferengi doorways? How does a species as scientifically advanced as the Ferengi build doorways they can't walk through without doubling over? That's a good question. Always the best questions from ED. I do not know, though. I don't know the answer to it. Larry said,
I think it has something to do with the fact that like it's sort of like a call to like the fact that they still have like the lizard brain, or they're not, like they evolve differently because it's like they eat bugs, like they eat tube grubs and snails and things like that, and it's always raining on Ferenginar. So it could be the idea, like I've always thought of it as the idea of if you're on a planet where it's raining constantly, why wouldn't your structures, be built to get rid of as much rain as possible? So you wouldn't be thinking of a flat roof; you'd be thinking of uh, a round house. A house that is more in this shape of a sphere. But that's just me, being one of those weirdo Star Trek fans who's like, "Well, there are reasons," even though they don't ever give us the reasons. But anyways, that's my take for what it's worth, which isn't much.
well, Larry says, we come in peace, shoot to kill. I love that song, but it's, Phantom Outsider says, see, even though I thought the world was sick of Ferengi love songs, but I look around me and I see it isn't so. Oh no. The fact that the Negus has now publicly acknowledged a female in is his advisor would mark an earthquake in the Ferengi culture, which should have been explored further, as that is a huge cultural shift. Also, if you kept them in the package was very Ferengi collector.
Boss man,
yes.
you just received a gift from the great Bronze Wrencher, Eric K. and our Fuzzy Wuzzy Kirby.
Oh, okay. By the way, Mark D, if you're out there, pop in whenever you're ready, buddy. If you're so inclined, unless you're tired or something. Thank you, Mark D, and thank you, Eric K, for that super chat. You're too kind, buddy. Says Raquel, Mark eats snails and probably grubs, if you cook it in butter and garlic. Just don't chew it for him.
I think that Mark would eat anything if you put garlic and butter on it.
Just don't chew it for him.
There's no way. I don't even want to be in the same room.
What's it? Yeah, that's
Mark.
So, Eric K, the great Eric K, the Bronze Wrencher says D. The Lita and Rom Space Knight part drag this down. Shows how they are all trying to sabotage the relationship. Do they all want Lita as well? Grand Negus and Moogie were good. Gotcha. Jerry Terry Kirk says 3 bars of gold pressed platinum out of 5. Too much Ferengi too close together. Yeah, that's true. Is not profitable. The imagery of Moogie making Zek exclaim, "Alan Moraine!" makes my lobes bleed. Alan Moraine, why'd you make me say that? F says the Comic Relief Crusader. F reminds me of Frank Sumatra's song. Luck be a lady, except it's bad luck for this episode. Oh man, Max Redstone says, shame on Quark. Being Zek's son-in-law is a tremendous opportunity, especially if Moogie is holding the reins. Moogie and Rom's Space Knight, please don't get me started. The smart move would be to tell Ishka about Blunt, and she could get Zek flat. Quark lets himself be manipulated. Quark is no boss hog, and I call this episode Quark's Quab Hazard, D-. Well done. Thank you, Max Redstone. Sorry for ruining your reviews, and thank you for the $2 super chat. You've made profit tonight for the show. Oogie. I can't do it like, maybe do it like Ram does.
Enigmatic Drop Bear responded, and he said, love it, Raquel. I counter that with the design being adequate for flood mitigation, lots of water is probably an argument for very tall doorways or even elevated homes. You would be surprised, Enigmatic Drop Bear. Like, I live in the foothills of the Canadian Rockies, and in the big cities that aren't in the mountains, people have normal roofs. but when you get into the mountains, the peaks are almost like the cathedrals in Europe, just to shed snow. And so the elevation, elevating the foundation really isn't as big a problem as having all that snow all the time. So you can see where my thoughts go, right? You think to yourself, okay, so these Ferengi, they're evolved, but not so evolved that they're not away from eating slugs and bugs and stuff like that. And it rains constantly there. So, I mean, it's not a rock solid theory, but I see your frustration with those round doors. But I do know that climate has a significant impact on the way you design things, and certainly evolving from a species that still eats snails and tube grubs, and they still chew the tube grubs.
I don't think stop. You worse than Mark, but even bringing that up.
It's grody to the max, man.
Well, we got through 4 more, boy. Next week we'll have 4 more. Let's see. Next week we'll have 4 more. That's all I can tell you.
That's right.
Yeah, and I think
I had a massive migraine all afternoon, and I made it through the show. I did it. I did it.
Yeah, we got through, everybody. We knocked out 4 of these suckers. Thank you, Max. I appreciate that, buddy. Oh my goodness. So, Mark D, if you're out there, dude, if you feel like it, you don't have to pop in when we're saying our goodbyes. But if Mikkel.
Look at what these cute people are saying in the chat. They're being all science fiction-y. I love you, science fiction people. Lisa says large cranial ridges would keep the rain out of their eyes, but that doesn't explain the Ferengi ears. And then Lenrod comes back and says the ears are so big so they can hear the slugs and find dinner. And then someone else said something even cooler, that they needed large ears to hear over the constant rain. Oh, you guys got all science fiction-y. And Enigmatic Drop Air says it's fun to speculate, Raquel. The evolution of the reasoning for different architectural styles is fascinating. Isn't it funny how, like, as fans, we're sitting here right now making these episodes more science fiction than they are just by talking about them? We're nerds. We're nerds.
What did you say we were? What did you call
nerds?
Get those nerds! Nerds! What?
So we have a review. We do have one, and welcome, by the way.
Yeah, I was typing as you were inviting me on, so I was trying to finish
I didn't figured you didn't feel like reviewing, so. All right, well, shall I read them for you?
Yeah, you can read it, yeah.
Not sci-fi, but I can't do it.
It's too hard.
Not sci-fi, but that doesn't mean you can't occasionally have a humorous episode on Star Trek. Occasionally, this might be, they might as well switch this to the comedy category with the Emmys back then.
Your agonizer, please.
Some of the Ferengi bits were funny. I try not to look at Ferengi bits. Along with the brilliance of Ishka in her business dealings. If Zek was losing his mind, he did it. How did he remember all of the tips that Quark and Ishtar?
Yes,
I didn't proofread this.
Gave to answer all of the FCA board questions. I don't know. The Rom Space Knight Lita storyline is not believable. No, it sure isn't.
Oh, Rom.
And there is zero chemistry between the actors. Episode gets an extra point for this exchange. But let's see. Quark, I sure do. Do you have any idea how much these are worth? Ishka, not as much as if you kept them in the original packaging, which is what I told you at the time. That was fantastic. I did enjoy that.
That was funny, yeah.
That was,
yeah, the Rom stuff is an F. I mean, Rom and Lita, that's just so
boring.
So boring.
It
so
was
bad,
cute when it was like the broccoli moment. Like the broccoli moment is really great because, I have quite a few friends that are nerds, who are nerds. and they really do struggle because they've spent their whole lives focused on academia, and so they haven't had time to meet other people, and they've always had their nose buried in a book. And so, your life can get away on you, and then pretty soon you find out that a decade has passed and you're still alone, and that's a really scary position to be in. And so you have to feel for nerds, especially for people who are as brilliant as Broccoli, and evidently so. Same for Rom. I mean, Rom is actually a better engineer than even O'Brien, if we're to believe the scripts. So I do love that he finds love, and I do love that a pretty girl loves him regardless of how he looks. And I mean, he looks like a toe. So who's your husband? The toe over there.
We just didn't have enough build up for that. That just boom, all of a sudden it happened.
Yeah, I know, but I like that when they start to pardon the pun here, flesh it out. It's when you realize that it's really rather icky, isn't it?
Isn't she Bajoran?
Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
Okay, but she looks, they're so close to looking like humans that,
I mean, she's absolutely gorgeous. And there are women out there who are beautiful, and they don't care what you look like. And a lot of women should realize that guys who have dedicated their entire lives to university, to edifying themselves, to getting educated, to doing something meaningful with their lives, they are worth love too. So like when they first come together and it's the Broccoli nerd moment and he gets the pretty girl, I love that. I just love it. It challenges all the tropes, and it's something that's nice. But then once you see it, like the French kissing, you're thinking, I wonder how appliance in his mouth smells.
Ouch.
And that appliance does not smell good.
Oh, good Lord.
That's got to hurt too. How do they talk with those teeth? I mean,
I don't know.
Actors do
a lot of
Polydent,
a lot of Seabond.
God, it can't be easy. No, but to have that in your mouth though and to perform, I mean, that's got to be quite uncomfortable, I would think too. So I mean, I guess they get used to it after a while. But
now remember, I got something that Wolfie had for us. But but before we do that, Raquel says, Kal-El, I actually found that to be the most unrealistic thing about DS9. I think he's talking about the ROM Space Knight leader thing. I even said as much to Chase Masterson when I met her at a con a few years ago. What did she? How'd she take that?
What'd she say? Yeah.
What'd she say?
Well, she might have been
I'll
nice
tell you this, Stephen M. You are definitely not a pretty girl who spends most of her years in puberty, and then as an adult, and then as a woman, with men behaving in a gross way towards you and saying or treating you like a piece of meat. And then when you finally meet somebody who treats you like a human being and is really loving and caring, and that person really loves you and really cares about you, you don't care what they look like. And so like there's this big thing in culture where it's like, oh, pretty girls get everything and so on and so forth. I don't really know if that's true. I think there are a lot of pretty girls out there who get treated like a piece of meat their whole lives, and they really would like a sincere guy to just walk right up to him and ask them to dance.
Didn't Quark tell Lita to get your brains to the Dabo table and basically look at her, point at her chest? And,
yes.
Was that the first episode tonight?
Yeah. Well, that happens to a lot of pretty girls in real life. I'm not saying that all pretty girls are like, these paragons of virtue and wonderful down to earth feelings, and they just need to be loved. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that this trope that if you're even a moderately good looking, that you have to be a bitch and that you've had everything handed to you and that you have no soul isn't true either. And so there are a lot of really beautiful women out there who are definitely interested in men who are intelligent, educated, and interesting. So I like those ideas being challenged. I like being able to see that on television.
Yeah, it's just got to be done well. Yeah. So what did you guys? I mean, I know I'm getting in here very late. I was out drinking a lot of old-fashioned Romulan ale tonight. A friend had a birthday, so we were out celebrating. So out of the chat. But Simple Investigation, I thought that was a really horrendous episode. I think I probably would have given that a C- or a D.
Yes, you go ahead. We both.
That
I
was
gave
horrendous.
first
That was
3 episodes.
killing
I
me.
gave all D's. I think.
Yeah,
But-
business
and
as usual.
Raquel
I
was
fell
worse. Go ahead.
asleep. Well,
Okay.
business as usual. I fell asleep. I think that was a
Don't
pretty
blame me.
horrendous
That's
episode. Was that when Yoshi wouldn't was away, and then she wouldn't stop crying, and then that was just I think I fell asleep. I didn't go back to watch the rest of the episode, so that was like a D minus. And Ties of Blood and Water. Did Captain Infinity show up for that one?
That wasn't time travel.
That wasn't Ties. Oh, that. Oh no,
No.
that was the. Wasn't it Ties?
That's next week.
Oh, that's
we're
next
gonna need
week.
him next week.
Oh, next week. What was the other episode? I've watched
It was
like
just
6 episodes.
Kira, that old guy that was Kira's
that
Kardashian
was-
fake father.
Oh,
was
that
pretty
one. That
dumb.
one. Yeah.
It was pretty dull. And stupid.
Yeah, that was.
Raquel gave that the lowest rating of all of them, I think.
Yeah, well, I think
So,
that one.
yeah.
The performances were good, but I think it was just too syrupy and too.
Yeah,
it's
don't
just
get me
too
started.
much. Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
it's not enough.
in the
sci-fi
past. We're
there.
not relitigating.
No, I wanted to chime in with my.
you can give your reviews. Yeah, go ahead and give yours.
Yeah, no, well, that's what I'm saying about it. Yeah, I thought it was just way too
OCD.
syrupy. Yeah, and too just not enough gravitas there. I guess I see what they were going for. The one part is, unfortunately, it reminded me of, we've all maybe unfortunately had to witness a loved one's last breath, and that part of the episode I thought was really heartfelt, and unfortunately, I've experienced that too often. As a kid, you never think you're gonna have to see that. So that part and missing, her father's death, I think the messaging on that was good, but not well executed in the episode. If that makes sense. And you don't really need to have that in Star Trek to that extent.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, to hell with it.
And then Frankie Love Songs. I think the episode was worthwhile because of you
reviewed that one.
Raquel, you're doing a nice. No, I'm just saying, Raquel, you did a great. You guys, oh my God, you guys, your voice impersonations were spot on. I thought I was listening to the episode for a second. So,
Oh, that's
bravo.
so sweet. We love you, Mark. Thank you. Clubby and I like to have fun with that kind of stuff.
That was great. That
I
made
hope
it
no one
worthwhile.
was too offended by all that.
He has Poopy Stew in a trunk in the basement. And sometimes he takes Poopy Stew out of the trunk, and
What
I
are you
take
talking
the
about?
trunk. That's also enjoyable.
Oh yes, that's right. I have a new show out now, and you were supposed. Wait a minute, you were supposed to let me out for the new season of my own show. It's about how's that going? How many episodes are out right now? They're up to episode 75. Thanks for asking. How are they liking it? It's the greatest show ever made. Star Trek is back. It's better than it's peak Trek. Just ask certain people on Twitter who say that.
Yeah,
I'm glad you all love it. Yes, I really worked hard on that show. This is Poopy Stew signing out. I got to go to my potty. All right, so
Clubby,
now-
can you kick that trunk for me?
there, it's shut. I shut it. So
away.
our good buddy Wolfie has some picks for us tonight.
Oh, good. Let's see. Let's see.
Let me see up and heel for a second. All right, now it's the battle cruiser.
Oh my.
It's got the battle cruiser. Oop, wrong way. From
Pleasant Valley
nice.
Picker, that is the idea. That is
What?
the idea. That's why we put him
What?
in a trunk in the basement. He's in a trunk
Yeah.
in the basement. He crawls out of the trunk sometimes and he talks and his mouth moves weird like a dummy. And then Clubby just throws him back into the trunk and locks it.
Indeed. So, thank you again, Wolfie. Last week we saw the Jimidar Battlecruiser CGI model. This week we can see Don Pennington's glorious massive motion control model.
Oh, wow.
That's also the Jimidar, or is that somebody else? Is that what ship is this?
That's for next next week's episode with the Klingon when Worf is on the Klingon bird of
What is-
prey.
What are we seeing here? Is it the same one? I don't know.
What's great practical model though. Yep.
Oh, it's the
When did we see-
Jimidar. No, this is the Jimidar Battlecruiser.
Yeah, when was it? Was that in this week or that's next week? I'm forgetting
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, that was last week, I guess. Yeah, I remember. I used to buy Cinefantastique all the time, Max. Yeah, nice. And so, Anyone else here by Cinefantastic? Sorry.
Stephen M. says, Raquel, you're right. I can't speak from the perspective of a female because I'm not one. Still doesn't change my opinion of the unrealistic ramen leader relationship premise, though. That's the great thing. You can feel that way, and that's all right. It's just as an author and as somebody who studied writing, I am always intrigued by the idea of somebody challenging these old tropes or putting a new spin on the trope. You know, you have this this idea of this character that is revolting to look at, and obviously you know this it's this sort of Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, that's right.
And I think that it's intriguing to put a new spin on that, or to make it seem more sincere, or to make it seem more realistic. And I think the fact that this woman has worked as a Dabo girl and has been treated like an airhead and like a piece of garbage and like a trophy and all of these bad things because she's beautiful, and the fact that the one person who doesn't treat her like that is the person who she falls in love with, I think that's pretty cool. I think that it's neat, because you know what, in science fiction, especially on television, wow, we get a lot of very, very tired tropes. So spins, twists, or reimaginings of those twists or those tropes, really cool for me. Keeps things fresh
I just
as a
think they should
daisy.
have fleshed it out a little bit more. I think you needed to see more instead. It was kind of like they were, you know, romance in a bottle episode of the week. They're kind of thrown together a little bit too quickly, you know, and as long as the series is, they could have built it up, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Plus, in real life, you usually see the nerdy, not so good looking guy is usually also happens to be extremely wealthy, but lands the good looking lady too. But
so this is from the Ties of Blood and Water. It's the Jim'Hadar cruiser that appeared in that episode. So that's what this is.
So this is the CGI, I'm guessing it looks like right now. You're saying, right?
No,
at the moment is CGI, and then the other one is. That kind of looks like CGI to me, but
he said
that's the real model.
Jim'Hadar battle cruiser from Ties of Blood and Water is the physical model. Last week was the CGI model. So this is
okay.
So this one real. Here is this one here the real deal there?
Wolfie saying real. Okay, thank you. And this is the upscaled DS9 too, which looks a lot better. Yep.
Yeah.
Someday, hopefully, we'll get and look at the. Is that the Excelsior class starship in the background there?
Yes, looks like it.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's cool stuff. Thank you so much, as always, Wolfie, coming through with the ships and stuff. We love it, man. It's very kind of you, buddy. That is very cool.
Yeah. Hopefully, we'll get that HD version someday. Oh, yeah.
Well, my friends, thank you so much for being here. It's been fantastic and fun as always. You're always just amazing. This is. Whether I like the episodes or not, hanging with you guys is always worth it, because I mean we don't always agree, and I love the fact we got guys like Kal-El here who, he has the more positive views of the episodes, and we're always the Debbie Downers over here sometimes. But hey, those out there listening, whether it is of course live or lurking live or the repeats or whatever, you're gonna get all opinions are welcome here, and sometimes you're gonna get. And we don't go out seek it out, nor do we repel them. All pretty good variety of opinions. So, I love that about it. We don't always agree on everything. We have guys. I mean, we have people giving this episodes Fs tonight, and people giving them A's tonight. And I love that. God, I hate to use the word. I'm not going to use it. Diversity. I hate it. I hate that word now. And I shouldn't hate it. But anyway. So I want to thank you all, and we'll do a couple of show notes and shout outs, and we'll let everybody get out of here. First, any closing words you might have to say, my wonderful first officer, the greatest first officer in the fleet.
Well, first of all,
contrast works. Thanks for the contrast there, ED. I could count on you. I like it better than the other one.
Well, first I want to thank everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for your lovely conversations. We really enjoyed your company tonight. We had a great time. I want to thank all of the Regs for doing such an awesome job of taking care of the community so that everything is in order and we can all just have a good time. I want to thank Mark D with a C for being such a great chief engineer. I want to thank Clubby for being the best captain and just a guy who I adore. I just love you very much. And I just want to say, hey, do you like episodic science fiction? Do you like those short stories that are all about ideas and are banging you over the head with politics? Well, then you might like my stories. Please hop on over to Amazon. You can purchase them for $1 a piece, or you can purchase my book. And because I'm an indie author, I could sure use your support. And thank you, everyone. And that's it.
JT Kirk, thank you so much, buddy, for that. You're too kind. So happy St. Patrick's Day. That's I guess next week, right?
It is.
I believe it's a little week away. Well, happy St. Patrick's Day to you, JT Kirk. I assume you are one of many of us, many here who may celebrate that. I think number one probably does.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, there you go. Well, fantastic. Thank you so much, JT. I really appreciate you, buddy. Thank you all so much. Chief Engineer, closing words.
Yeah, well, thank you. Glad to hop on, and sorry for missing the beginning part, but I did have fun tonight.
We'll forgive you one day.
Celebrating and fun hanging out here at the end of the show. And tomorrow night we've got Sunday Night Geekery, so hopefully we'll see you all there, and looking forward to that. And it's always a special night here on Saturday Night Star Trek. So you guys, a real great gang to hang out with, and everyone go buy Raquel's book. Again, if you bought one copy, go buy another one.
I love you. Thanks, Mark.
This tonight? Wait a minute. Is tonight daylight savings?
Yeah,
I think it is. And Michael Beacom
crazy.
just sent you a gift.
Thank you, Michael. I can't stand it. I hate that.
We
daylight
lose an
savings.
hour. We time travel.
They don't have
tonight.
no right to steal an hour from us.
Yeah,
hate
we shall
it.
move to Arizona.
Yeah, we should. Here's
Well,
to
here it
ignoring
matters because it's so dark here that if we didn't have daylight savings time, it
Right.
would be so depressing. We couldn't get anything done because, yeah, it's really
Okay.
hard on us up here because it means that it's like dark forever.
Thank you, Michael Beacom, for that. Appreciate you, buddy. You're too kind. Says here's to ignoring the Academy Awards tomorrow. Be seeing you.
Yeah,
yes,
I will too.
I've enjoyed ignoring that for like 20 something years now. I used to actually watch it when they were actually fun, but they've been garbage for 20, 30 years now. But
And
yes,
watch
indeed,
Sunday Night
enjoy that
Geekery
as
with
well.
us.
Watch
Holy
Sunday Night Geekery
moly,
instead.
Larry!
Larry, thank you so much.
Larry,
You're too
Larry!
kind. Oh man, thank you. My goodness, that is too kind of you. Buy Raquel's book, then read it. Yes, everyone.
I love you. Thank
Buy
you.
it, then read it. Thank you, Larry. You're too kind, buddy.
Love
Appreciate
you, Larry. Thank you, honey.
Yeah, I want my hour back already, and I haven't even lost it yet.
Yeah.
I want to
Hate
live
losing an
somewhere
hour.
where I don't have to have that because it's really hard to deal with. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's also really difficult in like December when at 4:00 in the afternoon, it's like it's dark outside. So it's like you wake up in the morning and it's dark and you go to work. And then
Right.
as you're coming home from work, it's dark again.
It's dark on Tuesday.
That's hard. It's really hard on
it sucks.
Canadians.
Yeah.
The perma darkness is awful.
Well, I understand. Sorry. And at least not this burning up horrible heat we have down here. We got snow, so that's we miss. So
Look at this.
what?
This is great.
That
I
could
love
work.
you.
He's not worthy to touch that book or even have it touch him.
I love you so much. Thanks, Max.
So we of course shout out. We always like to shout out our wrenches, then we'll shout everyone else out. Of course, the great Eric K. Thank you so much and all you do there, buddy. The bronze wrencher, we appreciate you so much, man. And shout out to the puppy.
Kirby.
Puppy, yes, indeed. Now, our great friend Chris Persia. I hope you're okay out there, buddy. Whatever's going on, we're conspicuously missing. But who knows? But something must have come up. I think I saw him in Gary's chat this afternoon. So I don't know what's going on, but I hope he's okay. I hope we find out he's all right. The great Vindicator Wrench of the North. We love Chris Persia, and we just hope to see him soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
The great D. Bud Martin, Wrench of Iron. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. And I had a great time hanging out with you last night on Nick's stream, talking Rocketeer. It was a lot of fun, buddy. Let's see here. The great Lord Thoth was here earlier. That great LT. Shout out to the God of Wrenches and his wonderful better half, Lady Thoth. Avon lives and long live the Legion, my friend. And hello, that little puppy of yours.
Sir Lancelot.
Oh, I forgot show notes. Oh, well, I'll do it
Eagle.
after. I'll do that after I do the
Stephen M., that is an incredibly
Wrenches.
kind thing to say. Thank you so much. I take that comment directly to my heart. Thank you so much, Kal-El.
What do you say?
He said, I imagine Kurtzman would burst into flames if he ever
Yes.
touched real science fiction like Raquel's book. I love you, Kal-El. Thank you, honey.
He would indeed. My partner in crime on Earth B, the great J-Man. Wrench Without Fear, Hungry Boy. Hope you're doing okay. We didn't see Hungry Boy tonight either, but hope you're doing okay there, HB. Shout out to you, the master of the club owning, the official artist of Clobbering Times, and the artist of the cover of the great R.M. Briggs book, Science Fiction Tales. Kal-El, buddy, the great Bridge. Thank you for all you do, buddy. We appreciate you so much. Stephen M. Thank you, man. Wielder of Wrench Mjolnir, the great Maddie's daddy, very under the weather right now. I hope you're, and so he won't be hearing this, but still great vibes out to him.
Feel
so
better.
I hope he's okay.
Feel better,
And-
Thor. Eric K just sent you a gift, boss.
Okay, I'll be right there. Fanty Outsider, buddy, thanks for being here as always. Appreciate you. And let me see. Oh, thanks so much. He says he lives in Canada. Maybe they ran out of caribou poop to collect the methane to run the power station.
Eric.
That must be it. Okay, show notes really quickly. Obviously, Mark's he's got the geekery going on tomorrow night. Like I said,
Yep.
He does.
You announced that, right? 10 p.m. Eastern. I already forgot if you announced it. Did you announce it?
Yep. Oh yeah, I did not say. Yep.
Okay.
It's already set up
good.
the stream. We're
All right.
ready to go. So yeah, don't watch the Oscars. Watch
That's right.
me and
I already
Clobby.
forget stuff.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
Double feature Monday night at 6 p.m. on an early time. The great J-Man and I will bring you back to Earth B for a Zany Haney presentation, another review of a Bob Haney classic, Brave and the Bold number 120. Looking forward to that Clobby's Classic Comics review. And then at the regular time, we'll have a regular show, 9 p.m. Central Standard for Mark C. Comics Talk. We'll talk a little bit about our good old buddy Mark C. It's been unbelievable. It's been 2 years yesterday. We miss him very much.
Yeah.
Tuesdays and Thursday nights, I'm usually with the great Tom Connors and that august group, Midnight's Edge After Dark, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. I won't be doing the I won't be at the round table this week, I don't think, for Loki, because I'll be out, but usually I do Loki's round table on Wednesdays, but still Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I'll be here for the wild card Wednesday night. And Thursday night, Mark and Raquel and I are here for the Clubhouse, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, hanging out and reviewing things and talking and doing all kind of stuff. And Friday nights, 8:30, Nick's comic shop show. I'm there with that great gang usually. But, of course, as you all know, the big deal is Saturday Night Star Trek, which we're here right now. And next week, we will have 4 more episodes on Saturday Night Star Trek number 110. Now, everybody, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. We really appreciate you. Please enjoy these ending messages and end credits, and have a wonderful rest of your weekend. And clobber on, my friends.
Clobberonimo!
Sorry. See what happened to me? I forgot to. We'll go back to that message after I pick up the shout outs. I forgot the shout outs, everybody, because I'm an idiot. I'll do them really quick. I'm going to do the shout outs really quick. See what happens when I do things out of order? So sorry.
Yep. Don't blame Mark. Blame me. It's in my contract.
Mark's fault.
It's in your contract.
All right. Thank you to the great our crew members, Jill and LT. Already mentioned them though. FKHC 2005, thank you. Shooter, thank you. Dave J Sound. Simply Steve 68. Let's see here. Mr. Tickle Trunk. Pleasant Valley Picker. Lisa. Enigmatic Drop Bear. The great Enigmatic Drop Bear. So glad you were here this week, buddy. Linrod. Raymond Feliciano. SP4H. Anonymous. Skogly Jatoon. Michael Beacom. And shout out to Cassandra. Dalek 451. The Catman, a.k.a. D.D. Myers. Sandra Feliciano. John Rupus Shaggy. Wolfie. Thanks again for what you did, Wolfie. Really appreciate you, sir. Janet from Another Planet. Bob, the great Dave Bob popped in. Hey, DJ Ronnie G. Masters Maniac Mexico MMM. Captain James T. Skywalker. Bush McFadden. Cardinal Sin. Thank you, Gil. Cloud Selling. Larry, Rob Altus, the great Max Redstone. Thank you so much, Max. Zathras, Herc 130, Snail Messiah, Captain Infinity and Beyond, Leia Rose, Mr. Angel, his chef, Terry Lahane, Double C, Cam Classics, Crushes. I'm sorry, Cam. Das Wolfen. David Rayborn, cause the thing. Dadman Walking and the Dadman Clan, the Comic Relief Crusader, Admiral Teague, DVB, Matt G, Lemon Pie, and the great J.T. Kirk, and everyone out there who lurked, and everyone out there listening on a download or a live stream, a rewatch, or whatever you want to call it. Yep, that works too. Thank you so much, everybody. And now, continuing with the messages. Sorry about that, everybody. Now, here we go. Good.
bloody A. No bloody A. B.
Why does it keep cutting off like that? StreamYard sucks, everybody. Sorry.
I just love clobbering time.